Double pushes hard and pushes the door open, but it, like, as hard as he tries, just opens a little crack, and they both stumble in out of the rain.
Oh man, what time of day is it?
It's
Oh,
nighttime.
it's dusk. It's dusk.
It's nighttime? Dusk?
Yeah, like the music is just beginning to play. Like
Oh.
you kind of like the band is up and you hear this.
So it's getting. I mean, it's not full, but it's got a decent amount of patrons.
Stubble and the dwarf are barely noticed as they squeeze in through the door.
When was the last time you guys were here?
We've never been here.
Never been here. Oh, you just heard about it.
It's fresh.
Grimmelful starts scratching at his somewhat raggedy clothes. Clearly, he may have some kind of bug thing going
Grim,
on.
quit scratching. That's never gonna
Can't
heal.
help it. It just keeps itching on
Is that because you've been on the road a while?
Yeah.
Stubble slaps Grim's hands away.
I mean-
Stop! Quit scratching.
Just gotta scratch my ass real quick. Oh, it looks like there's not a lot of people in here.
All right, let's go take our last gold piece and go see if we could get a beer each for this.
What, you still have a gold piece?
I do.
All right.
Do,
Well,
then.
I guess drinks are on you.
Stubble hops up and hops onto one of the bar tables. He's very short. He's like 1.5 feet tall.
Excuse me. Grimful is about the same height, standing from the ground.
We're wee people.
The middle-aged bartender kind of looks down at you all and puts a few pamphlets in front of you. It says, "Hey, have you guys ever played Dungeon World?"
Grimful just keeps scratching himself and kind of looks confused a little bit.
The rabbit, Stubble, not so confused, says, "Have you ever heard of a beer before?" And slaps the gold piece down and slides it slow across the table, and then let's go.
Now that's something that I clearly understand. Do as poor little Stubble, my friend here, saying, man.
Yeah.
Stubble wrinkles his nose just a little bit. I'm in a hurry. What's the bartender look like?
He's kind of like your typical grizzled middle-aged bartender. Like, you know, he's seen them all. He's not too impressed by anything or anyone.
Stubble, looking down at the gold piece, says, "There's plenty more where that comes from. Let's get another one loaded up here."
Yes, and that second one's mine. I've already claimed it.
Clearly, there is not enough gold, but the bluff has been taken.
Oh, roll 2d6.
Oh shit! 2d6. I can do that.
Oh God, that's so bad. The bartender knows what you're up to. Like I said, he's seen everything, and he's seen this shit before too. He kind of gives you a look like, I know what you're doing. Let's clean this shit up, and we won't have a problem here.
Well, I mean, you know, and
he flips, Grimmelful flips up a silver piece.
I mean, shouldn't this clearly cover some more drinks, right?
Stubble kind of like, where'd you get that from?
He kind of holds it up to the candlelight and takes a soft bite into the metal coin. He kind of gives you a wink and says, "Aye, that'll do."
Well, he doesn't know I kept that one right next to me ass. Joke's on him.
Stubble kind of cackles and waits for the beer.
Sure enough, it takes him but a moment to fill 2 mugs with a frothy house ale, and he kind of slides them over to you on the bar. So just let me know when you need a refill.
Oh, a refill. I wasn't expecting to get that far. I mean, yes, right.
Stubble takes the Stubble-sized beer and puts it up to his face and kind of like heftily takes a sip out of it. "Ooh, this is good." And wipes the froth off his face. "What do you call this?"
I think they call that a pint.
Tastes good, man.
Hey, Stubble, do you want to go check out a booth over there? I mean, we could probably sit and,
Oh, they
talk.
got beer and booths? This is a beer and booth establishment?
I mean, there's at least a booth. See that shady gentleman over there? I don't know if we want to sit with him. He looks kind of grouchy.
I mean, we could go sit with him. You want to sit with him?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he had some coin.
Wait, you want to like rob him? Like
He,
the
is,
last
he
guy?
does appear to be sitting alone.
I mean, we could just go, introduce ourselves.
All right. Stubbles down for it. He hops down off the table, spilling his beer down as he goes, like onto his face. And he keeps hopping over, but the beer keeps spilling onto Stubble's ears and his face.
Stubble, do you want me to get that for you?
No, I got it. Quite able, Stubble continues to hop and spill beer all over the floor.
Like half full when you get over to the table.
So look, I'm totally fine.
There's a barmaid looking out across the floor with a rag in hand and a look of sheer disgust.
Stubble takes a huge chug out of the beer. It's like, and looks at her, giving squinty eyes. Like, what are you looking at?
Grimiful
She kind
follows
of
behind.
winces and clutches the dirty rag in her hand and waits till you all settle in, but then proceeds to kind of wipe up the slippery, beer-soaked floor you've left behind.
Hi, my name is Grimiful. This is my friend here. His name is Jack Stubble.
I'm a rabbit.
This guy's kind of got his head halfway between the sky and his arm, just hunched over, and he looks up past his mugging and says, "Hi." Names.
Oh, sorry.
Name's Dreg.
Well, hey there, Dreg. Nice to meet ya.
Hey. You buying the next round?
Oh, I'm buying the next round.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're a funny guy.
He's
You're
buying
really
the next round. He kind of looks up at the table next to him.
Wait, is he pointing to us? Stubble, is he pointing at, we may, this could maybe, I don't know, maybe...
Stubble the rabbit hops up onto the table. Yeah, we got it. We got the next round. No problem.
Oh, yeah! A couple of the tables around you, like, join in. Like, alright!
Let's get everyone some drinks.
Stubble, you're doing it again.
When was the last time Stubble did this?
Oh, it reminds me, Stubble, of that time 3 towns ago when you promised to pay for the entire inn's lodgings for 3 days. I don't know what you were thinking. You must.
And I did promise it.
So you're running up a tab?
No. Well, we had to hightail it right out of that town, if you know what I mean. Hightail it.
And here we are. Rabbit pun.
So you that happened 3 days ago, and you've been on the run ever since?
No, that was 3 towns ago.
It's been raining ever since. We're just wet. We got bugs. We're just looking to get drunk and sleep.
I've got plenty of bugs.
He like scratches his beard, and you just see like a
rain of fucking parasites fall.
Kind of like winces. It's like
bed bugs and fleas.
Yeah.
Stubble, do you think you could do that thing? Where you pick out the bugs just a little bit, just a couple.
God.
I've got some right up here in my head, and I just
You got so many. You gotta aim me, bro. Audio.
Oh, Dreg. What? Do you live around here?
He's looking at you with a bit more disgust since the whole bug thing started happening.
What's the problem?
You should have that looked at, maybe.
Have what looked at? What do you mean?
It kind of gives you.
Oh, you mean the bugs?
Aye, the bugs, yeah.
You mean? Yeah, I don't suppose you have a bath. I haven't had one of those in a while.
Well, I've been there.
Oh, you have? You've
Not
been to
that bad.
Pensacola? That's where we just were. We were in Pensacola.
Oh, what was that like?
Pensacola.
What was that like?
It's great. It's fantastic. Great
Pens-
people there in Pensacola.
I think that they drove us off, if I remember correctly. But I mean, it wasn't. You know, it's just a small village, really. I wouldn't even call it a town at this point.
Yeah, terrible people there.
There's this one guy who smelled real bad.
I think his name was Fart.
Oh, Fark. Yes,
Yeah.
good old Fark.
Yeah.
Man, he was a real pain in my ass.
But
I mean, I was just trying to borrow the pig. I wasn't gonna do anything to it.
then you did do something to it. Let's be real here.
No, I wasn't doing that.
Go on.
I was just dressing him up. I mean, not dressing. You know, like getting ready for a solid meal. We were right hungry. Anyways, Dreg, what brings you to this part of the town?
My former companions didn't make it on our last outing.
Oh, what exactly do you do?
Yeah, it's a bit of a sellsword, you could say.
I sold my sword.
Yeah, you did.
For
We got
some
tons of
bacon.
beers for that, bitch, didn't we?
Well, and we got some bacon. It was mighty fine.
Got a little more than bacon.
I haven't sold my sword in a while. But once upon a time, I used to do a bit of well, it's more wrestling than it was really, you know.
In fact, do you
Sword
want
fighting.
make a small wager? Wrestling wager?
No, I mean, we want to make it fair here on our dear friend Dreg.
That's true. He probably wouldn't be interested in an arm wrestling contest.
Oh,
Probably not.
oh, then you've mistaken me. And he kind of pulls back his robed arms to reveal some strong-looking forearms and biceps. Like this guy, he's been around.
All right,
He's got
Dreg.
some strength to him.
I mean, just not to be disrespecting, but how many dwarves have you run across? Have you run across many dwarves in your travels?
Not many. Not many.
How about rabbit men? You ever seen a
All
rabbit
right.
man before?
Can't say that I have.
All right. And Grimmafour kind of nudges Stubble and be like, we've got this guy.
Yeah, we do. Like, Stubble drops below the table while the arm wrestling ensues.
So, what exactly are we betting here? Are we betting another round, or do you want to go
Yeah.
for something a little steeper?
Loser buys the next round. I like it.
All right, let's do this. And Grimmafour kind of like removes what little outer layer of clothing.
How strong is
revealing-
Grimmafool?
Well,
He's a tiny man.
he's a dwarf with a magic pickaxe, but not yet.
While
I mean, it's he grew up in the mines, so we're talking
You know.
about. I mean, he pulls it off, and it looks like small boulders are just resting across his
Ugh.
chest and biceps.
Hey
And
now.
while the commotion happens, Stubble performs the old Stubble Grim pincer maneuver and undoes the belt of this man and takes his money.
Okay, so let's do a couple of things.
The real reason we've had to run out of town.
Let's get those 1, 2, 3s going.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering. Almost
Now we
be
got a
like,
three-er in.
I think that'd be roll a 2d6, ace, or
You
what?
mean Stubble?
Stubble.
No.
I take the money clean off of him.
I mean, you can.
I leave one coin in his money pouch in
Yeah,
case
like
Grim
you-
wins.
You completely remove everything. Meanwhile, Grim,
That's max roll.
I need you to roll 2d6.
He puts his arm just up on the table, like
Double bounces back up.
flexing.
You got this, Grim.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
And boom! Like, oh shit! Camera shake. In one fell swoop, he just slams your arm back onto the table.
I mean,
Stubble,
Clearly, you are just baiting him in for
He kind of acts like, oh wow.
Yep.
Oh, you really
He
hurt
got
my
a point.
arm."
Next round on this guy.
Stubble pats him
yes.
on the back, like, don't worry about it, I got this, and slides 2 gold coins across the table to our cloaked man. It's like, here you go, here's an extra.
And Grim holds up the 2 and says,
Hey, keeper, bring us some more beer around on us.
Alright. And so it is.
So do you want to go again? I was just, just getting it
Let's
out
get the
warmed up here.
man's name first before we do a double arm wrestling contest.
His name is Drag Stubble.
Greg,
Have you not been paying attention?
like,
Yep. It's been too busy under the table.
it's true. I was doing some under table busy work. Greg, like as in the famous arm wrestling Dreg?
No, I'm afraid it can't be the same. Drag.
I mean, you've heard of me, huh? Go ahead and spout some lore for me, Kyle. Roll or Stubble. Roll a 2d6.
Well, that evens out.
It's like everyone around you is like, no, never heard of Drake the arm wrestler.
Double pipes up. You've never heard of Dreg the arm wrestler before?
Wait, maybe you're talking about his druther, Breg. His druther.
His brother, Greg.
Excuse me, I get tied up sometimes after a couple of beers.
No. Dreg, the man who single-handedly out-armed Floop.
I don't know no floop.
Floop the horseman. He had arms the size of legs.
You mean Fluke the Horseman?
Oh, yeah, Fluke.
That was his name. Fluke the Horseman.
Fluke, he didn't do well. It was definitely Floop.
It was not Floop. I don't remember no Floop.
And
they
then
continue arguing while the bartender brings another round.
Okay. Alright. This has been a beautiful, beautiful intro into the improv narrative freestyle that we could bring to some Dungeon World. I want to circle back after this preview and get into a little bit of the discussion about like the kind of the core philosophy and the rules and some of the classes a little bit.
I do have questions.
Yeah. So.
Actually, I may be able to ask this question already. Before.
Yeah. Well, go for it.
Well, I'm just curious. Like, it works really well when a couple people are riffing off each other.
Yep.
How well do you see it translating to a bigger party? Like, our group is starting to get pretty big.
Yeah, I know. I think it's really good. And one of the things that I think we'll have to do collectively is, just learn to share the spotlight properly. And it's never going to be perfect, but I mean, I think that applies for any tabletop role-playing game, whether it's this or D&D.
That's fair.
But the interesting thing about this is there's no turn order, there's no initiative, there's no anything. Everything that I do is pretty much a reaction to you. Anything that happens because like you roll for it. So like if you want to charge the orc who's got like his axe out and ready to swing, you roll for it, and every time you roll for something, there's basically 3 levels of an outcome. There's a complete miss, or a success, but like kind of like you don't get everything you wanted, and then like an actual full success.
So how does that translate to? So you're having us roll 2d6s.
Yeah.
Does that translate to if you're like what numbers dictate a complete success?
Yeah. So
versus a neutral
hold up one sec.
Okay.
Klug is saying, can he use GChat instead of TeamSpeak? I don't see why not.
Yeah, we could just try using Hangouts.
Well,
Yeah,
he can use Hangouts and not log into
But
TeamSpeak.
he
and
can't
then,
hear us.
No, he won't be able to hear us though.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been through this before. We could try just doing it all through GChat. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's fine. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch over.
User disconnected from your channel. Disconnected.
I'm just gonna stay.
Is
Ooh, I
my
can hear
mic working in here?
I can hear myself.
Shit. Okay, hold on.
Also, I have our next improv location.
There we go.
Are you still hearing yourself? Hello? Hello?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You just have to rejoin if you hear yourself, and you'll be fine.
Nah, it's because I have a crazy weird setup for the Jambot.
Way to go.
But it won't work in here. That's fine. We don't need it tonight.
You just missed Stubble and Grim robbing some bastard.
Yeah, dude. We just improv the whole thing. It was amazing.
Yep.
Grimifol the dwarf and Jack Stubble the half rabbit man.
Ali, Dungeon World's happening and I haven't even tried yet.
Jack Stubble.
Yeah, Jack Stubble, man, who's a half rabbit man. He drinks some beer.
Of course, you spot your beer on the ground.
Okay.
Oh no.
Uh,
Oh no.
Tomo arigato.
In these maybe see guys, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, you don't need Fantasy Grounds. You can just do Hangout.
Wait, you can hear him?
I could kind of hear him.
Kind of sounded like a robot with Parkinson's.
It did. It did.
No, it's gonna be shitty. Apparently, a
Oh, there you go.
in our neighborhood. So
How do you cut
It's gonna be
fiber
like this.
optic? That's shitty as shit.
I'm Google Hangouting with Sean these days.
So I can't play.
No, it's down the whole area.
Whoa, damn.
Oh.
Well, you
Holy
seem
shit.
pretty stable now, audio.
Yes.
What
Well,
do you,
that's because I'm on my phone,
Yeah, yeah.
not on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's good enough for tonight if you can make it work.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's up to you.
Tonight's mostly just a conversation of sorts.
/ we're doing it.
we are doing it.
Yeah. What a shitty situation.
Yeah.
Sorry
Tonight's
about that.
cursed, man. Across the board. Well, yeah, so I was just talking about how in Dungeon World there's no turn order or initiative. Everything is like kind of a reaction. So, you know, like if you want to go charge a guy, and so, okay, let's talk about a couple things here.
We did some of those things. We just tested it.
Yeah. So, for example, hack and slash. If you can use the website to help look at stuff if you want, but I'll be describing stuff too.
I've got access to it. It's just
okay.
real slow.
Yeah. Well, if you type hack and slash, it's one of the moves. It's one of like the core basic moves are kind of like the playbook of things that you do. Like whereas like an old D&D, you kind of had like, on my turn, I can take a standard action and a move and a bonus action and maybe a reaction. This is way more cinematic in that everything happens pretty organically. Like, let's say, well, I'm just going to use our old character names for examples, but like Palandor sees this goblin like performing some ritual. He wants to charge and attack the guy, but the goblin sees him coming. So I never roll to like attack you directly with like the goblins. It's all based off of you. Like you guys give me the cues and then we find out what happens essentially. So most everything is a 2d6 roll and then you generally add some kind of modifier to it. Hack and slash has plus strength by default. So Palandor would charge in and try to attack this goblin who clearly sees him coming, and then add his strength to that. Let's say that's like a +3 or something because he's really strong. So if you want to, go ahead and roll 2d6.
Oh, do it.
So you got a 5, and your strength would be 3,
have
so that's
6.
only an 8. You got a 6. So anyway, the normal thresholds are 6 or lower is a complete fail, like bad fail. A 7 to a 9 is a success, but insert like possible thing here. Like it's very much you kind of get what you want, but something else is probably going to happen that you don't want, or you kind of get half of what you want. A 10 plus is a complete success. So on hack and slash, you would completely deal your damage to that goblin and avoid any sort of counter attack. Optionally, you can do even more damage. Oh yeah, Mocha, hell yeah, wife of the year, bringing me ice coffee shit.
Nice.
Damn.
She didn't even get on camera.
I'm
This
very
is off
good.
Camera.
They wanted you to demo the thing on camera.
No.
Wait, what?
She appeared off camera,
Oh.
just like a hand.
Oh, they saw your hand
Yeah,
come
the hands.
Yep.
Magic hand is
in.
awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, magic hand. It's a Big B's magic hand delivering a spectral hand.
Yep.
So yeah, so sorry. So like a 10 plus is a success roll. And that means like you completely controlled the situation like a fucking badass. But you can go like crazy if you want and do extra damage, but then you'd expose yourself to that attack. So that's kind of like a special success category for like attacking. If
Like
you rolled
I could have tied his shoelaces together when I robbed him.
Nah, I mean, well, okay, yeah, definitely like that. If you were like playing like a thief, sneaky type or something, with what you were doing earlier. To stay with the hack, like the attack scenario though, if you got a 7 to a 9, which is probably going to be our most common roll result range, you deal damage to the enemy, but the enemy can also make an attack against you, or something else along those lines. Maybe you attack them, but they manage to like shield bash you and daze you for a second. And then 6 or worse, like you go into attack and completely miss and leave yourself open and they stab you. Something like that. One of the cool ones, if you want to pull up Defy Danger, this is something that I think we'll be using all the time. Basically, when you're trying to do something opposing some kind of threat, and this is like you trying to deal with it. And this will use a bunch of different stats. Like it could use strength if you're trying to power through, dexterity if you're trying to get out of the way or act quickly. If you're trying to just like withstand or endure something, you would use Constitution. If it's something like trying to react quickly with your quick wit, trying to like quickly jump into your friend who's about to say something stupid to the guard, you're like, oh no, it's like you're defying that imminent danger and you're using your intelligence to do so. And then like mental fortitude, like you're trying to withstand some sort of like psionic mind control, like you would do it with wisdom. If you're using charm and grace, like you're trying to just like charm the pants off somebody, then that'd be charisma based. And so same scenario here. If you roll 10 plus, you do exactly what you set out to do. If you roll 7 to 9, you stumble, you hesitate, you flinch. There could be some sort of choice. Like basically a lot of times when you get a 7 to a 9, not only will it be you kind of get half of what you want, it'll also be probably a choice. Like, Palandor, you're running in to attack the goblin. You roll like a middle of the pack roll, like 7 to 9, or like you're trying to go and defend your ally, and then you realize that okay, fuck, I can shield Ace from the sword that's swinging down on her, or I can go protect Peck.
I heard that.
Yeah, I can go protect Peck. So it's like, you're running in to defend, and like all of a sudden, if you didn't do a great job, like you may have like a choice to make. Usually it'll try to be like a tough choice. But again, like the flow of everything is going to be completely organic. It's going to be like sometimes it'll be like super high def where we'll work through the nitty gritty, and it'll almost feel turn based, like if it really calls for it. But most of the time, it's going to be kind of zoomed out a bit more. Like I said, like everything's going to react based on stuff you do. You guys walk into a room, you start like fiddling with a door, and then I'll ask you a question like, are you checking to see if it's locked? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And everything will then go back to you to make the roll, and your roll determines the outcome. It's not like you roll to attack and then I check the armor class rating of a thing, or like no 5 million skill checks, any of that stuff. That's sort of like the main thing, and a lot of that again revolves around us getting good at just sharing the spotlight, because it's going to be very loose. Wow, that's the worst roll ever, Kluk. Snake eyes.
Literally.
So
is there a critical fail? Like there's fail. But
yeah, I mean, like I was kind of toying around with the idea of like Snake Eyes having like a potential like ultra critical hard fail. Same with like double sixes.
I mean, the odds are greater that we would completely fail than they normally would be.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't decided on that yet. Like, I mean, for now, like, I always like to start kind of like vanilla, just to see what's up with the rules, and then, like I said, there's tons and tons of examples of like custom classes that people have made, and I think, you know, if you guys have a cool idea or a crazy idea for a character or a story, it doesn't matter if it's in the rules or not. Like, this thing is so moddable or hackable that we could easily like work that in and have it be perfectly part of the fiction. Dude, it's funny, the immolator, like, I was reading the class kit on that. I mean, it's pretty much Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a warlock, right?
It's, well, it's not necessarily a warlock, but like the whole thing is all about burning things, like figuratively and literally. Like, there's like a thing to burn bridges, like where you burn a bond with an ally, and like you permanently lose a slot. Like, bonds are these slots you have to form bonds with other players, and like every time that you have one that you both resolve, you kind of gain experience from it and all this other stuff. Oh, that's the other thing. If you roll a fail, a 6 or lower, you gain an experience point.
Right,
learn-
but you only need like
You learn from
you only
failing.
need like 9 XP to level up. Or
Yeah,
something, right? Like, it's
yeah.
a
It's like
ridiculously low number.
everything in this is like almost removes the math. It's all like sort of abstracted, I guess. You know, like you get 1 experience and you like use 1 ammo or 1 ration. Like, everything's very low numbers. You know, it's not
Right.
trying to be like a simulator.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
just,
fucking
I mean,
love
like, it's still there. It's just abstracted, right? So, I mean, like, this might be like the semi-boring part that we can spice up with just random other shit, but I thought it'd be fun, like, you know, at least useful to talk about the rules kind of in depth a bit. I'm going to jump to the playing the game section on the website and just kind of like skim through some of this stuff. I've read it all, but like, you know, just want to refresh myself and kind of look at it all with you guys. Maybe I can, just to show you where I'm at, I'll share my other screen.
How do I get a new character? Like, I clicked on the emulator just to look at the kit, but then I want to like, go back and look at the fighter. Is that possible?
Yeah, you can't just click characters.
Yeah, you can just click characters, I think.
But I only see the emulator in there.
Because people have been like grabbing owners. Like, whenever someone
people
clicks.
have been
Poundor has been busy.
I grabbed all of them. I was like,
I can import more duplicates if somebody wants to see one, but
no,
I suppose. I mean, you have the website.
the website's a much better place to see this stuff. It's not very good in here.
there's
I
no
don't think.
skills or anything within, like, when I had this character selected.
There's no skills. So there's
nothing in there.
moves. Moves are here. Let me go through some things, and then we'll circle back to questions in a few. So, I mean, I like their analogy. They say playing Dungeon World is more like having a conversation than most tabletop games. It's all about the fiction, or the story, whatever you want to call it. Everything is designed to serve that. In terms of like game flow, roles, etc. There was an example I liked earlier about like how like a skill check might work in this versus D&D. Like in D&D, you might make like an athletics check or something to climb up this rope, up this like crazy rock wall or whatever, right? And in D&D, I feel like you would kind of just keep trying to climb and climb until you either got there or something didn't happen. It would just be a bunch of pretty mundane rolls. In Dungeon World, I like the idea that if you were to do that, you would probably like make a roll plus your strength or something. Someone go ahead and roll 2d6.
I'm on it.
Oh, an 8 and a 10.
Oh,
All right, well,
so close.
let's say, for the sake of example, we got Ace's 6, and she had like a +1 on that, and she had a 7, which is again that mid range, that 7 to 9. So while she was climbing up this rope, she would realize that, like, okay, I'm making progress, but my fucking armor is way too heavy to get up here. You now have a choice. You can try to push your luck and keep climbing. You could drop down and shed some armor, or you could find a whole other way up there, something like that.
I'm gonna keep climbing.
But the moment that roll happened, Ace's roll to climb up this, like I didn't have necessarily any preconceived definitions for how strong that rope was or how well you secured it. But as soon as the first person tried to climb it, and we realized, oh, you know, this is the outcome, that becomes part of the story now. That's now canon. It's kind of a weird example, but it's kind of a good example of like how your roles and your interaction with this stuff really defines everything, if that makes sense. A little bit. I know it's a little bit weird. The one thing that like I think is a good recurring theme is you kind of have to unlearn a lot of what you know about, you know, classic tabletop role-playing games throughout a lot of the stuff in this game. Yeah, so that's one thing.
Luckily for me and Deadwords, we don't know shit.
That's right.
A lot of the main flow of the game, like you guys had like a great like improv thing going earlier. A lot of it I think will be a bit more like a lot of that, but more split up with questions. Like you asking me questions, me asking you questions, and then those answers are all contributing to this conversation that's kind of building the characters, the world, the rules around us a bit more. Ability scores and modifiers in this game are pretty much like what you'd expect from D&D, same stats, etc. The modifier values you get are a little bit lower. So like a 9 to a 12 is a 0, a 13 to a 15 is plus 1, 16 to 17 is plus 2, and an 18 is the maximum like a mortal can have, which is a plus 3. Beyond that, we go back to kind of what we've already been talking about, which is moves. It's the most basic unit of rules in Dungeon World. What the hell was that? Sorry. Moves are rules that tell you when they trigger and what effect they have. And it's all like when you attack an enemy in melee. But the... Let's circle back.
Keep going.
Yeah. There's a character can't take a fictional action that triggers a move without that move occurring. And they kind of give an example here that, you know, someone tells me that their character wants to dash past an orc who's wielding an axe to an open door. You would then make the defy danger move because the trigger is you're basically acting despite an imminent threat. Yeah. So you can't just describe your character running past a threat without actually dealing with it with, you know, the mechanics of the game a bit.
Unless you roll 9 or above, right?
Well, or I mean, yeah. Well, basically what it's saying is you can't just run past a threat. If there's a threat, you need to defy danger, and then yeah, if you roll, you know, 7 to a 9, you'll get half of what you want, so to speak. And if you roll 10 or higher, you'll get exactly what you were going for.
One of the coolest things about Dungeon World so far is this like thing where every time you want to do something, you basically do it. It's like you're narrating it, and then you just sort of narrate your like how much it cost for you to do it, or like whether or not you actually fell flat on your face.
Yeah, like I pretty much just adjudicate the flow and like the branching outcomes a little bit. But a lot of it is all on you, and it's a lot more circular. You know, it's not me trying to build everything and then you guys just rolling dice and sort of queuing basic moves. And like, you know, I said before, like everything is very cinematic in terms of the flow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. Keep asking questions as or have ideas as they come up. So we like, you know, we kind of did rolls. Like the basic roll is almost always going to be 2d6. And you kind of see under here, like most of the modifiers will be listed like this, like roll plus a stat. And again, like, you know, the tiers are 10 plus, yay, 7 to 9, yay, but, and 6 or lower is bad. Yeah, they say here, 7 to 9, you do it, but with complications or trouble. And again, if you fail, you gain 1 point of XP. So it's this whole thing of like, you know, you learn by failing, which I get. And then it's also kind of interesting, like, you may level a bit more earlier on, but you will plateau, which is kind of more true to form to like real life learning. You know, you're not going to become amazing at Maya and then just because you've been doing it for, you know, you hit that point where you just sort of flatten out a bit.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
So
I'm kidding. Sorry.
Well, like
I'm a
the point.
Mind Master.
The point being, back in Dungeon World, is that you may fail a lot more early on and gain experience because of it. But your bonuses are going to grow quickly when you level up and gain more experience that way. So you'll probably fail less and gain less experience.
Yeah.
So let's see the effects of moves. So there's this concept of moving forward, or something will say take +1 forward. Usually that means you get a +1 on your next move on the roll, not like the damage or anything, but the roll to succeed. The bonus can be greater than +1. Just like D&D, you can have a plus or minus of anything. So there are certain abilities that will say, oh, take +1 forward on your next hack and slash. Or take +1 ongoing, which would mean you have a +1 to all move rolls. Again, not damage, your actual success roll. And so these are just kind of common things you might read in some of the classes. And again, they can be specific, like take +1 ongoing to volley, and volley is pretty much just the ranged attack, whereas hack and slash is the melee attack in this game. Some moves like defend give you hold, and hold is like this currency, almost like a bonus that you have against a target. And you can stack it up. And it's kind of generated, but it's always generated for like one specific thing. For example, if you're defending an ally against someone and you succeed really well, you might get 3 points of hold charged up from just being amazing that you can spend to do different things. But if you had just been disabling a trap for whatever reason and you got some hold points from your trap expert skill, they don't carry over. They're all completely exclusive, and as soon as you kind of break that interaction, that hold is gone. Think about it being like, maybe you're in like some sort of duel with a guy and you're building up hold by just like learning his moves, deflecting his attacks and stuff like that, and you've got this like defensive skill that lets you charge hold. The moment you're no longer dueling that guy, that all those hold points are gone. So again, it's just completely based on the interaction at that time. The most common use of hold will be going back to defend, which is again one of the standard moves. And defend is like when you stand in defense of a person, an item, you're trying to like barricade a door, whatever. That would usually fall into the defend move. And for this, you would roll 2d6. Someone roll 2d6 plus con.
Plus con.
Oh, 8. Damn, 12. Okay,
how do you do that?
How do you do plus con?
Yeah, because like so right now.
If you had a character sheet open.
I know, I do.
Oh, so like the way this character sheet works is like the con 16, right? If you click that little plus minus in the bottom left, you'll see it gives you a +2 modifier, and then when you roll, yeah.
Whoa, wait, what?
Oh, I see. You click it first and then you roll the dice?
Yeah. So you looks like you clicked a bunch of stuff and you had like a crazy modifier on. One thing you can do too is this character sheet is designed. Yeah, like you don't get it sucks because you can't drag off and roll. But if I do con bonus and then click that little D symbol next to defend, it'll roll it with the bonus and then tell you if it's a success, if it's like a mild success, or if it's a fail.
Wait, did you say you opened up a character sheet to see all that?
Yeah. I can show.
No, I mean I have a character sheet open. I'm just curious. I'm gonna click things.
Yeah, click
so
things.
Okay, in the very bottom left corner of the screen, but down by the die, there's like it says 0 modifier.
Right.
And every time you hit like an ability, it adds to that.
Right, exactly. So if you know that you're using your con bonus for something, you would click the con plus minus symbol and then click either there's a 2d6 right at the bottom of the mods rolls on the character sheet, or there's some skills that are already set up with dice rolls.
What do you mean there's 2d6 next to the bottom of the mods rolls?
So like it will roll a 2d6 that it uses this game system's failure success thing. See where it says mods rolls? It's like the middle column on the bottom character sheet.
Mods rolls. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's just a macro that rolls like this special roll.
I see. So you hit the button to the right of that, and it will just roll 2d6. But you can actually hit a mod and then hit that, and then it'll do okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't have a specific move set up in your character sheet, this will roll the 2d6 for this system with that thing.
Is there a way to set up the attributes to just roll 2d6 with the mod of whatever the ability is?
Probably. I didn't mess around with this much because it's not like really super important tonight, but we'll get
Sure,
we'll get that later. So defend. Let's say that one of you rolled 10 or higher. If you're looking at the website or the wherever the rules for the sheet, it's in Fantasy Grounds too, I think actually. 10 plus, you gain 3 charges of hold. And again, as long as you stand in defense of whatever that thing is or that person is, you can spend your hold points 1 for 1 with 3 different options. You can redirect the attack from the thing you were defending to yourself. You can have the damage of the attack or the effect of it, whatever the thing is. Like it might not just be a damage thing. You can open up the attacker to give an ally a +1 forward. So you basically defend and defend it in such a way that your ally now has a bonus to attack this thing. Or you can deal damage equal to your level. So again, these are 4 options for defend. If you got a 10 plus, you can do 3 of them right away, or you can spend them however you want. As long as you're engaged with this thing, you can spend your hold whenever you want. If you only got a 7 to a 9, however, you only got 1 charge, and so basically you can only pick one of these 4 things to do in defense. And so on. So that's kind of the idea. That kind of encapsulates a little bit of like hold charges, doing a +1 forward, and sometimes having to pick options for an outcome. And that's going to be a big theme, like, because a lot of times your rolls are going to be 7 to 9. There's almost always going to be like, you defend, but you got to pick one of these things, or you defend, but you got stabbed in the ribs. Let's see. I'm gonna jump around a little bit here.
So basically, your skills are core moves. So anytime you describe like, I want to do basket weaving, it's like, okay, cool. Sounds like you're an idiot. So then you need to, I don't know, discern realities or something.
No, I mean basket weaving, like that might be like an intelligence check or like a mixture of intelligence and dexterity. I don't know.
Okay, so not everything actually funnels through core moves.
No, and like a
like
lot
if
of
you're trying to do survival by like, tracking someone or.
Well, that would probably be discern realities.
Oh, okay, I got it.
But question.
You're doing athletics. Okay.
Yeah.
The attributes, like, so I'm looking at the barbarian's sheet or whatever. His highest constitution is 16. So does that mean that your core attributes are still based out of 20?
18's the highest.
Oh, 18
for a mortal in this game, yeah. And an 18's only a +3.
Why did they do 18 and not? Oh, I guess.
There's no d20s.
There are no d20s. Yeah.
Everything is 2d6.
Don't worry about numbers, man.
Yeah, all those other dice
highest.
that's down there in the corner.
I don't know why.
Just don't worry about it.
Like, if they change things, like, it better be for a reason, not for like the sake of just changing it.
Well, I mean, it's based on a completely different system. But either way, it doesn't matter. So let's see.
Food's done.
It's weird that it can like roll the mod dice itself.
Yeah, that's well. This is a generic game system. Stop focusing on Fantasy Grounds, Klug. Stop it.
Hey, I'm just. I like my implementation.
So there's a good note about moves being very dependent on equipment. A character without a weapon of some sort isn't going to be able to trigger the hack and slash move when fighting a dragon, since a bare knuckle punch isn't going to do anything to a thick-scaled monster like that. Well, that would be different, obviously, or like some sort of magic monk type guy. So anyway, like if you didn't have a core requirement, you can't trigger the move. Is really the main idea here. Likewise. Sometimes equipment will avoid triggering a move. Whoa, like if you were climbing like an icy cliff wall, you'd usually defy danger, but maybe with like a really good set of climbing gear that's specific towards that, you could probably avoid the danger or calamity that would be triggered altogether. Interestingly too, if someone is like completely surprised or unable to defend themselves at all, like you just do damage. You don't have to roll to hit. There's no slowdown when it comes to that.
Oh, Fiddy, quick
Yeah.
question. Did you already cover like the hard choice, soft choice thing?
Well, kind of. I mean, that's kind of a little bit about like the, rolling good, middle ground roll.
So, but like, okay, so I rolled a 2d6, got a 5, and then
That'd be
it says-
that would typically be like a hard choice.
Right. So okay, so it's not just like failure is not
It's
just
not guaranteed.
utter failure. You
No,
still
no.
have like, okay, so the hard choice part, does that happen on a 1 to 6,
Essentially,
or is that only
yeah.
like a 4 to 6?
Yeah, and it's not always a hard choice. I mean, everything is going to be very circumstantial. Like it's everything. Like this is the recurring theme, but everything is going to be, dependent on the fiction, the story at the time.
I guess what I'm asking is like, is there such thing as like a failure where you don't make a choice, like everything
Yeah.
is just narrated?
A 1 to 6 will probably most of the time be just a complete failure.
Okay, so how do you know when it's going to be? I guess you just answered it by saying like it's up to the narrative, but like when it's a failure or when it's a failure with a choice.
Well, generally the 7 to 9 range is failure with a choice, or no, sorry, success with a
Well,
choice.
that's success with it.
No,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
soft choice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll see if I get up to that soon.
Success with cost, and then failure with choice.
Yeah.
But there's like hard choice and soft choice. I was just like, that was the part that was kind of fuzzy for me.
Oh, yeah. 5 failure with hard choice. Where did you see failure with soft choice?
So I didn't see it here, but like
In the
in
book?
my research of
yeah.
Dungeon World, like hearing people talk about it, like there's hard choice and there's soft choice. I wasn't sure like when that.
That might be
When
more
that
of like
came
the
up.
GM thing. Let's see.
Okay. Oh wait, maybe I'm thinking soft moves, hard moves. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I got confused. Never mind.
Yeah, and like on the GM side of thing, there's like soft move, hard move. Soft move is generally just like, that they kind of describe as the setup. Like I might tell you that there's a volley of arrows just raining down on the pathway into this dungeon, and you see it coming. What do you do?
Right.
Whereas a hard choice is more of like the reaction or the result of not dealing with those soft choices. And there's a volley of arrows raining down upon all of you as you clumsily walked out into the middle of this bridge, and you take 5 points of damage. So I think that's generally like when they talk about that, that's more about like the GM side of stuff, like how I interpret the situations a little bit.
Got it.
So back to equipment a little bit. There are tags in this game, and so we'll go to weapon tags real quick. A weapon can have like any number of tags on it. There's an example of ammo, which is kind of interesting in this game. Ammo only counts for like what you have on hand, not like a hard number of like I've got 20 arrows. It doesn't represent individual arrows. It represents what you have left on hand. And a lot of times, depending on the range of your success, you might stay at like, say you had like 3 ammo for your arrows. You might stay at 3 out of 3 ammo. But there might be something that comes up where you've got a choice of like, oh, you won't be able to recover this, or you'll lose some of your ammo, and then you tick a point of ammo off, something like that. So it's a lot more abstracted, but it still kind of handles everything in a pretty nice way. You might have a weapon that ignores armor, so you don't subtract armor from the damage taken when you hit something. You might have a weapon that's forceful, which allows you to knock someone back a pace or two, maybe even knock them off their feet, depending on how successful you were. You could have a weapon that has the thrown tag on it, and when you throw it, you can use the volley ranged attack, basically. The counter, like
Is
the
that
bat.
considered magical?
No. I mean, these are just like so. There's just tags that just describe everything, and they're almost like cues for the story, basically. And like the reverse swing of that pendulum is, let's say you've got like a halberd with crazy reach, awesome for just sweeping through waves of goblins and skeletons and shit. But then you get a bunch of tiny creatures crawling all over you, and you're holding this really long polearm weapon. And how are you attacking the things crawling over here when your arm's out here? Whereas if you had a dagger, you could stab that shit. So that's a tag that has pros and cons to it, you know, in regards to the reach. And there's a bunch of different tags. We'll get into it when we care more about the characters, but so it's kind of same for armor. There's a bunch of armor tags, but you know, it's kind of a bit more into the equipment side of things. Let's see. Again, a lot of things will present a choice. A lot of times you'll have moments to say something about your character. Like this is, you know, kind of like what we're already doing. This is a great place to have an idea, like a foundational core idea for a character, but then just leave a lot of blanks and let it snowball throughout the course of the game more. And so, like, one of the core game mechanics is spout lore. And when you spout lore, you may get asked how you know information that, you know, the game master reveals. So this is where you would take an opportunity to contribute to the game, show who your character really is, or just, you know, some made up sort of backstory thing that ties you into this thing or that thing. And you can just make whatever up, and, like, you know, it's kind of like your turn to, like, again, contribute to the fiction, and, like, whatever you say kind of becomes canon, becomes fiction or history for this world. And if you do so, you can generally, you know, get a point of XP for spouting some sweet lore for everybody.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Yeah.
This idea of, like, all the story coming from the players. I think I talked about that last time.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, we'll have like a bit of a scaffolding going in, but through this conversation of questions between me and you and each other, you know, we'll dig deeper and deeper and deeper and, like, just riff off of each other in terms of, like, oh, so what happened in towns 1 through 3 that led you to here? You know, like, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to start, like, making up NPC names and stories and shit, and if I roll high enough, then it's true.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that.
There you go. Kyle, drink some coffee. How's it going, buddy?
Dude, I'm fighting. Hold on, I'll fight harder.
Fight harder. You need to fight harder.
Roll defy danger. Sounds
wait.
like you need to just discern
Hold on.
reality.
Let me
Yeah.
get this plus.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And then I'll roll
That
this.
plus. There you go.
Boom.
Success, but with a cost.
Yep.
Yeah, you succeed, but you're gonna hate life tomorrow morning.
Dude, I hate life every morning.
No.
All right, so that's kind of like the basic overview of making moves.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Sounds super. Like, I totally just want to, like, play right now.
Right?
We kind of were earlier. I know.
Let's get in it. Let's get in it. Let's get in it. Stubble and oh no, Deadwards.
Deadwards? What?
What happened to Deadwards?
Oh, your mic's muted, Dave.
Yeah.
I've been talking this whole time.
I
Yeah,
muted it a little while ago.
Oh,
What
my
was
God.
What was the worst name?
I was gonna say I do better, like, with some of these for just examples of,
Yeah.
like,
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I'm a
So-
learn by example type of guy.
Okay,
I'm a learn by
let's
doing
fucking
kinda.
all right. Let's walk through the character creation. It'll pretty much hit on, like, all that shit anyway.
Yes.
I don't know what I want to be. I don't know what I would be.
Well, that's okay. That's
it's
what we're here
improv.
for.
Pick something. It doesn't matter right now. We're not keeping these.
All right,
Yeah,
so choose a
I'm a
class.
fucking. I'm an immolator.
You going hard on that emulator?
You going ace?
Dude. I mean, it's not Ace, though. It's going to be like a
Yeah,
It's
sure.
really interesting.
different character. It's going to be a super ugly one, though.
I got this great idea.
Yeah.
We're the 3 emmulators.
Oh god, fuck
Dude.
you. No, I'd like everyone to pick
Yeah.
a different class.
Oh,
Unique
come on, the 3
class.
emmulators. We're all siblings.
I will be a bard tonight.
I love the idea of siblings. Like, I totally want to be related to somebody. Someone
Let's
be
all-
my sister.
Let's all be related.
No, let's be related through story.
Yeah, and blood.
Oh my god.
So a lot of the classes have a list of races, and depending on the race you pick per that class, you get like a special bonus move, right? So I'm looking at Immolator, and if you pick Salamander, non-magical heat and fire cannot harm you. If you pick Human, when you make camp next to a large open flame, you regain all your hit points. And so this is a good example of a core class that does not have like moves made up for every single class, but it's very easy to do so.
Where do you see those moves?
Under race? Are you looking
How
at
do
my
I
website?
how do I
screen
pop
share.
that? How do I pop that sheet open again? I immediately. All right, there we go.
Hit
I found
characters.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So wait, how did you click on race? Where the fuck is it?
Immolator? You just click Immolator over here.
I clicked on Immolator, and then
You can just type im and then race in the search box.
I don't like any of these.
Are you on my website or on the other thing? Click.
I'm on. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Fantasy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on the website.
Okay,
where
okay,
things
yeah,
kinda
okay.
like that.
Go back. I'm going back to Dude, let's be a salamander. Was a salamander a race?
Yeah.
Dude, is
Well,
that
like
a
that's
lizard
that's
person?
that's
What
the
does that
thing.
look like?
Well, like that's the thing.
That's fucking awesome.
Don't be restricted by like the races they list. Like you can be pretty much anything. And while
Oh, yeah, but like salamanders get like a sweet ass ability.
right. And so like you could but you could easily pitch like another race that has some sort of starting ability as long as it makes sense.
Dude, look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Look at
I'm
my
that.
shit.
I'm fucking that thing.
Whoa.
What thing?
Right? I linked it in GChat. Look at
Ooh.
I don't see
That.
anything.
that. What?
I've seen
How is
it.
that possible?
It's in like the actual
I see it.
Actual-
Sorry.
sorry.
Chat.
yeah. The real
Back up in GChat land.
OG.
Not a salamander. He's got.
You're a dinosaur.
You're a flame
So
spinner. Yeah.
Dude, yes, I'm a salamander. Fucking flame
So
spitter.
salamander.
You're
okay.
a flame spinner.
Oh man, this is broken. Hold on. Let's see.
Badass.
Look. So choose one from each of these bullet points for look. Smoldering eyes, warm eyes, searing eyes, strange
Dude,
brands, ritual scars
How are you seeing all these things?
on the website thing.
On the website under Space Dungeons. Yeah. So
It's space,
I love
Space Dungeon.
that. Like the look, it gives you some, shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and you
dude,
can make
I got-
something up. I mean, this is just suggestive, but like you can see the
Ritual
next
scars.
line's about like some sort of skin feature.
Yeah. So I've got smoldering eyes.
Okay.
I've got ritual scars.
Okay, and that's a
and
great
barely hidden rage.
Whoa, hold on, that's a great segue. Ritual scars, huh?
Yeah.
Where?
Tell us-
I was
Where did-
experimented on.
Oh, okay.
Basically like a talking salamander, which
Like what
It's
was it like a
weird.
bunch of like powerful wizards trying to figure out why
Yes.
you were some sentient lizard?
is that actually they pulled me out of another plane
Oh
and
shit.
then just started experimenting on me. And now I just fucking hate everything.
Hmm.
Right? The shit writes itself.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And I'm stuck in this world, dungeon world. And I just want to kill everything. I'm evil, by the way.
Evil. Okay.
You're not going ace.
Wait, this is
I wanna-
basically Ace.
I want to kill everything. I'm evil.
Yeah. You burn things. Yeah, I mean, pretty
Yeah.
much. No, but like, I love it. Let's go on here. So your attitude, you got like a barely hidden rage, a manic attitude, a very visible rage.
Visible rage, yeah.
You don't try to hide or blend in at all.
I mean, if I'm around people, yeah. So that's why it's barely hidden.
Oh, okay, we'll go with barely hidden rage then. All right. Yeah, only hidden by the skin of your reptilian teeth. What's your
You're
voice
gross.
like?
So this is the crazy thing. I don't talk.
So you're also Hush? I'm just kidding.
That's the tieflings merged into one.
Yeah.
So you can keep this a secret, but can you talk? Or you can, okay.
Yeah, but nobody has ever heard me talk.
How come you don't talk?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, it's because of all the hidden rage and shit. My voice will betray my intentions, so I don't talk.
Okay.
Also, communicating with living creatures makes me weak, and I don't want to seem weak.
Okay.
Because I want to be able to kill anybody, so no attachments. Yeah, there we go. That's good.
Okay.
Writes itself.
So how do you guys want to do stats in this game? Because you can take a set array of stats, or you can roll 3d6 for each stat.
Roll.
Oh God.
Roll.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
I would take 4d6 and drop the lowest, but I'm not rolling 3d6.
Wait, 3d6 as opposed to what?
Taking like a flat
4d6
array.
and drop the lowest.
I'd be okay with
Alright.
that. I mean, it is the same spread of D&D, and I always like that roll system from D&D.
3d6 sounds punishing. Like you would end
Yeah.
up with far more below 10.
Well,
Whereas,
that's
like, when you take
that's
your
kind
array,
of
you
the
at least
idea,
get-
man. So like you got to embrace think about writing a character for a movie or a story, right? You want a good character to have just as many flaws as it does strengths. So don't think about
That-
it in terms of trying to win a game and like wanting all the points necessarily, as what would allow you, what would give you the cues, the tools to make a more interesting character.
Well, I do like how in this one, if you get the array, you at least get one stat that's awesome, right? There's one
You
thing that
do.
your character
You get
is
one.
good at.
I mean, the array is not bad. I mean, you get the full. You get a 16, a 15, a 13, an 11, a 9, and an 8, at least for the salamander.
Right. But 16 is a +2. 15, 13 is only 1. But
Yeah.
11 and then the 9,
Are
11
zeros.
and the 9 are both zeros.
Yeah.
And you only have one -1. So you have one thing that you're
Yeah.
terrible at. So you have like one fatal flaw. And then average, and then one extremely good thing. So it feels more bell curvy like that.
Yeah.
Where I think if you were to roll, chances of you having a nice like bell curve like that is not going to be good.
Go with the.
I know
bell
that sounds
curve.
counterintuitive, but dude,
I'd
I
change
know,
my vote.
but don't do it.
You convinced me.
You want the bell curve?
Yeah, bell curve.
Okay,
Do
that's
that
fine. So
Taking that array.
Can you eventually spec? Like, I guess when you gain a level, can you spec into like you have a +2 to strength? Can you
I think
spec into that?
every time you level, there is a move called level up under the special moves, and I think one of the things you do is every time you level up, you increase one of your stats.
Oh wow, really?
I know what I want to be, and it's going to be unconventional.
Well, we would expect nothing.
Yeah, I
less.
know. Shocking.
Like if you pick something conventional, that would be abnormal.
I'm going to be a vampire, and the closest thing to a vampire is a paladin. But it's like a
Evil
reverse
paladin.
It's
I mean,
a
if-
reverse paladin.
So there is So
Shadow
for this
Paladin.
particular game this first one shot we're doing, I would say pick a class from this list. But that being said, there's already a bunch of vampire like fan made or third party classes for like vampires and other crazy shit.
Basically, paladins are like, do what I say. It's like they have to do what you say, like I am the law or whatever. And then they have lay on hands, which is like to heal people. But it's like you heal yourself because you suck their blood. And then you're basically like a human or a dwarf or something.
Yeah. And I'm not throwing it off the table.
Dwarf vampire.
Yeah, dwarf vampire.
I'm not throwing it off the table. Just for the sake of our first little mini session, I'd
All right,
ask you to
I'll go straight paladin. I'll be
Okay.
pious. I'll be fucking pious.
That's great.
Dude,
I
Right.
like this page of all the classes, like
Yeah.
this master list.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
crazy.
There's a whole undead section where you can be like a mummy or
Oh, I'd be a
unliving
mummy.
aristocrat.
God. God. I mean, some of them are going to be higher quality than others. You know, they're like a lot of them are just fan-made garbage.
They're all
probably.
just fan-made, yeah.
Yeah, some of them are linked to like one like actually well-designed ones though. So the Immolator has a special stat array. It's not that different than the standard one, but it is slightly different.
Yeah, I'm just keeping what it's on the character sheet.
I'm gonna put a spin on it. I'm gonna be a dark paladin.
Okay.
Ooh. Evil paladin.
Yeah.
Evil party.
Corrupted paladin.
This actually has the wrong thing, I think, or whatever. So your maximum hit points start out with like a number for each class plus your full Constitution score, not the bonus. So your Constitution's like 16 here. So you would have 4 plus that, so it'd be 20 hit points or 20 health. I don't know if it has.
It's awesome.
Sorry. Click edit.
And then since Kyle's a dark paladin, then I'm gonna be his best friend because if he gets to be powerful enough, he could probably send me back to my primordial plane.
Ooh.
What? Wait. What class are you?
Immolator.
I'm the Immolator, but I'm
Ace
a
Oh,
2.0.
all right. You're the Ace 2.0. All right. Yeah, I'll send you back.
not Ace. It's not Ace.
2.0.
Yeah. The stereotypes, man. So every class has a base damage. It's not your weapon that determines your damage. It's your skill with those weapons that determine the damage. So
That's cool.
yeah, so pretty much your class itself, in most circumstances, is what drives your damage when you do damage. For you, it's a D8. You automatically start with the Burning Brand move. You can conjure a weapon of pure flame.
Oh.
And this is where this class has a lot of choices.
Yeah, like, do you want Fireball or Arcane Missile?
Yeah. So if you roll a 10 plus when you're summoning your Burning Brand, you get to add 2 tags to the weapon. If you only get a 7 to 9, you only get 1 tag. And with this weapon, you can actually treat your intelligence as your strength or dex in regards to making attacks with the weapon.
Nice.
Interesting.
So does that weapon last like the whole fight, or is it like every round you would have to?
No,
I mean, because you're saying there's no rounds, right? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, there's no rounds. So you would just tell me you want to attack somebody.
Oh.
I
So,
think
okay,
this sounds like. Interesting. Hold on.
Because you have a question about that, like casting spells and then attacking and stuff, because the round system is not hard and fast. Like,
It's respect.
yeah.
Well, go on. Finish your thought, Klug.
So like, so in this case, right? So like, oh, this guy's got this move to conjure this weapon of pure flame. Does that happen in a flash? Like, can he conjure it and attack with it in the same move? Or like, how does that work?
It would depend on the scenario, I think. So,
Okay.
if you saw like a group of enemies nearby and you were getting ready to fight, and you wanted to like conjure your weapon and then go in and attack, yeah, that would just be like one thing.
Okay. Huh, okay, cool.
It's I think it'll be very situational, and we'll probably have to figure out like the right flow. But I mean, a lot of it's just going to be very dynamic. Like sometimes you might do 2 things and someone else will only do 1, or like someone will be attacking somebody else, and like you want to interject and defend. Like it's all the idea is it's supposed to be very fluid. We need to share the spotlight and all that, but it's all going to depend on your actions. Like you can interject and be like, oh, I want to try to get in there and shield him while he picks the lock, and the arrows are coming down. I want to go in there and try to defend or defy danger or something.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm not going to be like, again, like you all drive this conversation essentially. You start it. So like I'm not necessarily doing anything until you start going to attack these guys, or maybe you triggered them by like walking out into the open, they see you, and I would do a soft move or whatever we were talking about earlier, you know, like where I sort of propose what's happening, like, okay, you've all stepped out into the opening, these guys are drawing their bows back and a volley of arrows are beginning to rain down on you. Well, that's kind of like the soft part, and now you have a chance to react and do something. This is where you step into the conversation. Depending on how you roll in regards to this, that then defines what happens as a result.
Awesome.
So that's kind of like the idea.
All right.
All right. So Burning Brand, I'll have to look into that. I'm not entirely sure if that's saying the Burning Brand itself is you conjuring a weapon. If it is, you would just have it out until you no longer had it for something that happened in the story. Or I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's saying like that's an attack you do with a weapon.
Yeah, it says the weapon always begins with fiery, touch, dangerous, and the three uses tag.
Yeah.
So yeah, like basically
each attack with the weapon consumes one use. Oh, okay. And then the weapon's gone.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so you start with those things, and then you can add 1 to 2 of these other tags. Like it could be a throwable weapon, or you can get +1 damage, or you can remove the dangerous tag.
Oh, and then so I heard something interesting about thrown, right? Like the thief has these throwing daggers.
Yeah.
But if they roll high enough, their ammo count doesn't go down. It's like the daggers behave as kind of like returning.
Yeah, well, it's the same idea with like arrows too. Like that's how ammo's like handled in this game. Like if you roll really well on the volley or the throw or whatever you're doing, you know, it's just kind of like taking into account like whether it does like some kind of returning thing or you're just like really good at using your ammo and doing all the things. You know, picking that shit back up. It's only when you roll like with the success but or you fail that you would start to like lose ammo as like a, you know, a downside kind of thing. So yeah, you start with Burning Brand. You've got fighting fire with fire. When you take damage and that damage is odd, the flames within you come to your aid. And so this adds more uses to your Burning Brand, I think. Interesting. Zuko style lets you bend a flame to your will.
Zuko style.
Fucking hell yeah, scar my face up.
Give me fuel, give me fire.
That one's awesome. Makes people tell me things.
You gaze intensely into someone's eyes. You may ask their player, what fuels the flames of your desire? And they have to tell you the truth, even if the character doesn't know or would otherwise keep it hidden. So that's again like where he could try to use his magic to like force one of you to answer some questions that you do or do not know.
He's not even a roll with that. I just do it.
Wow.
It's awesome.
You just said, let's do it when Azula said do it in the thing I like to.
This other one's interesting. You can basically turn your hands into tools made of fire to craft metal objects.
And deconstruct.
Awesome. Yeah. Alright, so you're going evil.
You're hilarious.
So
sacrifice an unwilling victim to the flames.
So alignment, let's take a second to look at that real quick.
Chaotic evil, maybe?
Well, no. No, lawful evil.
There is no double alignment in this.
Wait, so is it really just evil, chaotic, or neutral that I can choose?
So again, this is like a case where they don't have a move slotted in for every possible alignment for this class.
Wow.
But you could make one up if you had good reason to.
Okay, I think chaotic would be more interesting than evil. Evil is a little bit one tone. I think chaotic means I get to be a wild card. Be like Riddick. Chaotic.
Like an ace in the deck.
Chaotic, you would reveal corruption, break an unjust law to benefit another, defeat a tyrant, reveal hypocrisy.
Yeah, and get revenge.
Okay, alright. I mean, alignment can and will change according to the rules in this game, but it's usually more of a gradual thing, or maybe it's like a defining moment that would happen in the story. Either way, a player can switch alignment moves while still keeping the same alignment, which is kind of like a smaller shift.
You get moves based on alignment?
Yeah, so...
What?
Yeah, so like if you look up chaotic, like those things I said, reveal corruption, break an unjust law, defeat a tyrant, reveal hypocrisy. Those are all like some of the core tenets of it, I guess you could say. But your specific salamander immolator guy, your move is spread a dangerous new idea. So that's kind of like a core move to your character. I think if you... Let's go back to character creation, but I think if you fulfill that, then that'd be a way to kind of gain XP. Let's see. Choose alignment. Yeah, so in play it'll give your character actions that can earn you additional XP, essentially. A lot of that's kind of like in D&D, how we had inspiration, you know, for like really playing out your character well. In a sense, there's a lot of moves to your characters in here that would give you like a point of XP.
It's awesome.
So for gear, your load is kind of like your carrying capacity. It's just a flat 9 plus your strength. As far as weapons and armor, you carry no weapon and need no armor but the flames that burn within you. You begin with a symbol of your sacrifices past. What would that be?
A symbol of sacrifices past?
Yeah. Think about that for a moment, and let's pivot. Let's pivot over. David, you've been a little quiet. What are you thinking, man?
Well, I would like to play a dwarf, but I was also looking at Arcane Duelist. I was thinking a dwarf fighter, maybe. Or
yeah, that's cool.
Arcane Duelist is like a third-party one I added in as like a test, which is playable. I don't know how like refined or balanced it is compared to the core classes.
All right, let's just do core. Fighter's fine.
Barbarian and fighter look fucking amazing in this game. Have you looked at Barbarian at all?
I didn't look at Barbarian. I looked at fighter though.
Look at it briefly and try not to laugh and appreciate some of the story mechanics tied to it. While you're looking at that, Kyle, what do you got going on? What do you got going on?
I want to be a paladin, but I want to be a corrupted paladin.
Oh, okay. Hell awaits an eternity of torment.
Or you know what? I might even play the straight paladin.
Let's go with that for now.
Straight paladin?
Yeah, let's keep it kind of vanilla.
All right.
Initially. All right, straight paladin.
My name's gonna be Palandorina.
Yeah. Do you have an idea for a name?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm discounting what you just said. Does me sharing my screen help? Like I'm trying to show what I'm looking at, or would you prefer I just did webcam?
No, it helps. It helps. I don't have a name. Give me like 5 minutes. We
can come back to the name. So let's skip the name. Let's look at the eye. What kind of eyes do you have? Kind eyes, fiery eyes, glowing eyes, something else?
I've got glowy eyes. I've got like white, fucking emissive eyeballs.
You have the internet again.
I have the internet again.
Laundry's
nice. Done. What race were you thinking?
Race. Can I just like pick a race?
Yeah.
Can it be totally random?
Sure.
Be a salamander.
No, I'm gonna be owl. Owl.
I'm not gonna use any rules for the race. Okay.
Owl.
The fuck?
Owlkin.
An owl paladin.
Owlington?
My name is gonna be My name is gonna be
Who?
Claw.
Hugh? Who?
No, it's gonna be Claw. Claw. I'm typing it in. Name is Claw. Oh, Talon.
Talon. Ooh. Grim
Talon.
Talon.
Race is gonna be owl. Specifically barn owl.
Yeah.
Gender is I mean you can't tell, but I'm a female. My age is 2 because owls don't last very long. My height is going to be I'm going to be like 1 foot 6 inches.
Oh wait, like an
Yeah.
actual. Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
1 foot 6. Like you're talking like an actual owl?
I'm going to be tiny.
No, just.
No,
fuck
deal
you.
with it, man. No,
Fuck you. Okay, I was willing to give you owl humanoid, but 1 foot
Like the
6.
picture.
All right. I'll be
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I will open the goddamn floodgates after we do one kind of normalish play test.
All right,
You could be a 1 foot 6 infernal owl after we play this first play test.
I'd be 3 foot 6.
Okay, alright, fine.
I'm a big owl, small person.
God, I hate you.
We're gonna bend this to our will.
I love it. No, here I've amended. I've amended the size here.
Wait.
Fucking bitch.
Weight 65 pounds.
Here we go.
65 pounds. But I
Boom.
fucking block like a fucking block of iron. Like when things come at me, I'm just like
Okay.
they're like, oh, it's
So-
fucking owl. Nope. Spread wings.
So this goes for everybody, but like again, I'm willing to let race be totally open. You'll have to come if you want a bonus move for your race, and it doesn't exist in the rules already. Like in this case, there's no halfling-sized owl person race. But you can see that a lot of the other races have like a thing. So like dwarves, in regards to the paladin, say you're a holy agent of your people's law. When you give an order based on your divine authority to an NPC who is subject to dwarven law, you choose how they react. And they're sort of the same thing for elves. Halflings have this thing where they defy danger, they can resist temptation or corruption and get a +1 bonus. Orcs worship valor, and they're paragons of their people. When they're outnumbered or outmatched and pray for strength to their gods of war, even for a moment, they get +1 armor until they lose hit points. So I would put on you, and you don't have to think of it right away, what would your owl person racial bonus be for a paladin?
Those who are all right, let's come back to it.
We'll come back to it. That's
witty thing,
yeah. All right, let's go back to your looks real quick.
Yeah, I got fiery white eyeballs. They're glowing.
Fiery white. Okay, yeah, glowing white. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Do you wear a helmet? Do you have styled hair, balding hair? What's the feather hair situation like up
I have
there?
a helmet. I have like a skull cap, but like the feathers come out like little horns.
Oh yeah, like that movie where the protector Gahul owls or whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
was.
follow your gizzard, goddammit.
I don't know what it is. Okay, so you have a helmet with the big bushy owl brows poking out.
Yep.
Okay.
They come out to the sides like a Viking helmet.
Okay. I'll share this notebook later too,
But it's feathers.
but I'm lazy right now. What kind of holy? How do you display your god? Do you have a worn holy symbol, a fancy holy symbol, a tattoo?
Yeah, the symbol is just like wings. The wings come out from the sides of me. Like anything with wings in general is like associated with my god.
Okay. So you don't have like any actual physical representation?
The physical representation is a great horned owl with his wings spread out. But anything with wings spread out will do.
Well,
And
so this item you have of your holy symbol, where is it? What shape? Like, is it a pin? Is it a neck amulet? Is it on your shield?
It's gonna be an amulet.
Okay.
Yeah, a big, giant, gaudy amulet, and it's just
The
literally
spread-winged owl?
It's literally wings. It's just literally
Okay.
like
Of
this
spread
on
owl
my
wings.
chest. Yeah,
It's like a silhouette.
this is happening, guys.
What's the body situation like? You know, is it a fit? You kind of like a fit, bulky, thin.
I'm kind of like a on the heavy side for an owl.
Okay.
And then I would also like to describe my person as like sometimes I take the shape of a person, sometimes I take the shape of an owl. Like you can't really see, like it's a blur. Like I could grasp a sword if I wanted to,
Right.
but it would kind of look like a wing came down and like grasped the sword.
I mean, do you have like taloned hands at the end of that?
Like I look like an owl, but then like when I want to grasp like a human-like thing, it's just kind of like wing comes down and then sword comes up.
Okay. Well, we can talk.
I have
about that.
I have the functionality of a human being, but I look
Right.
like an owl as much as possible.
Okay. All right. Well, you can find some imagery to support that or some more.
I don't know that I
descriptions
can,
later.
but I'll try.
Okay. So you start with lay on hands. You have to touch someone skin to skin. You can say a prayer, which is charisma based, and you would roll plus charisma for that. Speaking of stats, you will have to decide, and it's like most people, you want to look at your stat array, and you want to look at the moves, the starting moves you have, some of the standard moves that are just in the game, like defy danger, whatever, hack and slash, and you want to decide how you want to allocate your stats based on the moves that you want to sort of focus on, if that makes sense, right?
Totally. How do I get to them?
Yeah, so your stat array is
Also, we'll go with that picture you have pulled up. That works perfectly.
it had the more
But-
stumpy size.
Yep. But like with a big beak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Awesome.
you can paint over that shit.
Oh, I will.
I've seen your penis work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like your stat array is here. I'll put it in here too. That's the standard stat array, unless your class is something specific, like the immolators did for the salamander.
Is this the thing I get to roll on? Should I choose?
Well, I just assumed everyone was doing the stat array, unless you want to roll.
I want to roll.
Okay. For the sake of simplicity, we're only going to do one round. So, but you do get to roll 4d6 6 times. We drop the lowest.
Okay.
I will copy in your manual roll results into this notebook that I'll share later.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Let's just start going.
Okay, so that is
Look up.
16.
Yeah. Already nailed it.
Yeah. And
Nailed it.
14.
Already rolling lower than what I should.
There we
Oh,
go.
no.
7. Everyone's rooting for you to fail.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm so sorry.
about
11, 13.
13's.
That's respectable.
All right. That's plus one. Plus one to what the average is.
That
Oh
is-
no.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
10.
no.
It's a 0.
0.
And it's
Wait,
the
no,
last
that's
one.
all right. That's good. That's plus one.
It's no 10's 0.
There we go. There we go.
Hey.
Oh, and then a 16 again.
Another
That's
16.
pretty. That's above average.
What's that last stat that I just rolled above average on?
16.
Yeah, but what is that stat?
Well, again, so no, you can put them in any order you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So here are your results.
By the way, that's a real hardcore thing you can do in D&D, where it's like you just go down your stats.
Oh, yeah,
you
and I've
roll
done it.
one.
I've
Oh,
done
I
it.
thought I was just going
Fuck
down.
that.
Well, no. Well, I only gave you. Well, let's see if you did that. I would let you pick your class after if you wanted to. But
I'm above
the-
everything except
I let
for
you do
last
the
stat.
46 drop one, but you only got a single roll, and you can put them where you want. I mean, I think that's
All right.
pretty fair. That's pretty fair risk reward.
So here's the deal. That 7 is going where the 8 is.
What? Are you looking on
So
your
see-
actual character sheet?
I'm looking where what you whispered me. 16, 15, 13, 12, 9, 8.
16, 14, 7, 13, 10, 16?
You rolled me something before that, which is what
No,
my
that's the standard array.
That was the standard array that you did not take.
yeah, exactly. So I want, instead of the 8, I'll put that 7 there.
You're approaching this with incredibly bad language. I would want to know
Okay.
what stats you would want to assign them to.
All right, what do my stats look like?
Well, and this is like, you don't have to figure this part out right this second. You
You're
have
paladin, right?
it's the same stats as D&D, in terms of like strength, dex, con, wisdom, and charisma.
Yeah.
What I was just saying is every move, including your class moves, and then the basic and special moves, which are kind of like just your basic attacks, defenses, stuff like that, all have a stat connected to them. You want to pick the things that you want to do the best, and probably put your stats there.
So see that thing right there?
Yeah.
Basically, I get +1 to everything off of what I rolled, and then -1 to the 8.
Why?
No, a 12
Why are
is-
you?
no.
Why are you pasting the stat array? I don't understand.
Because that's
What you're
what I
doing.
would have taken. That's what I would have taken should I not have rolled, right?
This is
Yeah, right,
This is a
yes.
terrible conversation. Look, your stats are 16, 14, 7, 13, 10, and 16 from your rolls.
Yeah, put them
Correct.
in the best ones.
Yeah, so you need to tell me later what stats you like strength, constitution, charisma.
I don't know what those things mean.
Yes.
That's why I'm referencing what the original.
That has okay. Look on the website.
You
Look
played
under,
D&D though, right?
look under paladin.
Once I played once.
Look under paladin.
All right.
Look on my screen. I'm showing you things. If you go to paladin, you've got starting moves, lay on hands, I am the law, quest. Some of these have stats. You'll see like this gold roll
It's all
plus
charisma
whatever.
based. Yeah.
That's charisma. So your first few core paladin skills are charisma based. Your advanced moves, which you'll get later on, you've got, let's see, none of these are stat based, none of these are stat based.
So tell me this: is
No,
there
these are
like a
stat-based.
starting paladin like cheat sheet? Like, what should a paladin have? Should they not choose this?
Let's see.
Oh, click on the paladin that's up in Fantasy Grounds. That should have like a default array for you and everything.
Yeah, I don't know how.
So
good
let me show
it
you what I'm
is.
looking at. Share screen. So I'm legit like looking at things here.
Yeah.
This is what I see on my
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, it doesn't show you the stats there. It does show you that like your starting moves are based on charisma, so you're probably going to want that to be your highest stat.
Yeah. Well, there's that, but then you'd also need to consider.
So tell me what this is. What is this thing? The 16,
There you go.
12.
Yeah. So under attributes in the bottom left corner of that example.
Yeah.
Well,
So
this
those
is
stats.
pretty easy because you have two 16s. Charisma is important for your paladin abilities.
Perfect. Right. This makes
But
sense.
hack and
See all these
slash,
things?
hack and slash is strength based. So like melee attacks are strength based.
See all these things? Add +1 to them, and then subtract 1 from intelligence.
So
That's
the
what I want.
the thing you have on the left there is a cleric, not a paladin. If I got that right. Yeah, the one on the left that you filled out is a cleric, and then the one on the right is paladin.
All
There you
right. This guy here. Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So then you get to replace those numbers with the ones that you rolled.
All right.
Correct.
At least that
16.
gives you like the basic sort of like this is where the computer would have put them.
All right. 16.
So like
uh,
your paladin abilities are charisma based. Basic fighting is strength based. Defending people would be constitution based. I mean that's pretty much the gist of it. Spouting
change the
lore
stats on
is
that?
based on intelligence.
yeah. Look, take all these, add 1 to them, and subtract 1 off of that intelligence. And that's what I want.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, honestly, like we're not gonna do all of that right now, but you can have a real good think.
Wait, what?
So one thing that
But this is what
one thing you should know: a 9 to 12 is a 0 modifier, and then a 13 to 15 is a +1, and then a 16 to 17 is a +2. So it's not like they're not like D&D where it's like a 12 is a +1. But it's okay. You have 2 +2s, which is awesome.
Yep. Just add them. Just add them to my biggest ones.
Okay,
I honestly don't give a fuck. It's like, I could not care less.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just make the int
16 strength.
You're a real dumb paladin.
Like, so I'm just looking at these things here, right?
So where's
Like,
your where do you want
Here's
your
my
14?
rolls, like, right?
Huh?
So 16 equals 16, 15 equals 16, 9 equals 10, 7 equals 7.
Your logic is hurting me a little bit.
All right. I'm gonna error on your logic because I'm drunk.
Yeah. So
Just go for it. Apply what I
You're
rolled
good, you got it.
to that.
great. Okay.
We can take it from here.
Yep.
I will rename this year, since we're going into this, just fucking name this the Kyle sheet for now until you come up with a name. You have 2 16s. We'll go charisma and strength, probably your 2 most important things, unless you have a different idea for how you want to play the character. A classic paladin would probably be pretty heavy on the paladin skills and the fighting. Hit points and being able to defend stuff is going to be constitution based, so you probably want to put your 14 there. Unless you want to take the 16 and go into that and make yourself more defensive than offensive. You with me, Kyle?
Yep.
I'm asking questions about your style of play preference.
I would like to be tanky. I am a tank.
So more defensive than offensive.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go strength 14, constitution 16.
You block better than you hit.
Yeah. This is what I'm trying to say. Like the way you're reframing things is hurting my brain. We need to just think in terms of style and descriptions.
I want to be a meat shield. I want to be able to hold my shield up and be like, I got this, guys.
Okay. So the tricky part, do you want to be more dexterous or intelligent or wise?
Dexterous.
Okay. So we'll put the 13 there. So that is the 16s, the 14s, the 13, and then the 10 and 7. You said 7 intelligence, which would put 10 into wisdom?
Yes.
Okay. And so strength 14 is mod 1. Intelligence 7 is -1. Dex 13 is +1. Let me fix that. It's not fully automated here. 16 is +2.
Oh,
okay.
I found a new way to roll. I found a new way to roll stats.
What's
2d6 + 6. Right?
The
That
fuck
way
is
your
that?
lowest is 8.
No, fuck that. You should get lower than 8.
What? No.
If you're rolling in the game of Fate, Klug,
I rolled hard and I came out on top.
it's already been defined. You can take the array, or you can do 1 round of 4d6s and put them where you want.
I regret.
Kyle got good stats, and now I'm like.
I regret rolling though because then I looked like an idiot because I didn't know how to apply them.
You rolled good.
Yeah, I rolled damn good, and I thought I knew what I was rolling, and then everyone's like, "You're a fucking retard."
We just don't know what you were rolling
I
for.
want you to rewatch the stream later and just.
Wait, you're recording this?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh god damn.
Huh? For the other assholes who couldn't make it tonight, who we all love dearly and are not assholes. Just fine.
No, but serious.
Good lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, we've set your stats since we've gone all the way here. Your
They're
maximum
+1.
hit points.
They're
max-
+1 on everything.
No, they're not. They're different. Anyway, they're. Jesus Christ. just
fine.
focus on
fine.
the descriptive text.
Right.
I'll do the math. So your max hit points is your entire Constitution score, plus whatever your bonus is. And so for
20.
Paladin, it's 10 plus your
Fuck.
Constitution score. So that's 26 hit points. Holy shit!
Yeah, let's go.
All
That's
right,
what
take
a
bank
that's what a
and
3.5 foot owl
You know
will
what?
get you.
I don't. Let's care less about this number and let's start talking story.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
What the
That's
fuck
what
are
I'm
your
saying.
eyes and your? Wait, you did all that.
Yeah,
I
we
did
kinda
that.
do that.
I
We
did
kinda
all
do
of
that
it.
part.
What about your fucking backstory? That's what I
Yeah.
want to know.
We'll get
No,
there.
look, don't worry about it. We'll get there as soon as you start talking. We need to start talking.
Okay.
You got
okay.
perfect skin. Is that what's going on?
All right. So anyway,
Yeah.
you start with lay on hands. You have the armored ability. You're trained in armor. It means you don't have the clumsy tag on your armor when you wear armor, which just a little fun side note. If you are wearing armor and you don't have training, you get a -1 ongoing penalty to all your rolls while wearing that armor and being clumsy. This is again like just a representation of how tags work. They kind of add flair to the story, but sometimes they also add mechanical changes. You have I am the law. When you give an NPC an order based on your divine authority, this is where you would roll plus your charisma, and you kind of like use your leadership, your persuasive personality, your divine order to sort of sway people. Let's talk about your Paladin quest, which is not only a core starting move, but adds a lot of backstory. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the notebook here. So for the Paladin quest, and again, you guys can pull this shit up super fast if you just type quest in the search bar on the site. But when you for the quest, you dedicate yourself to a mission through prayer and ritual cleansing. Here, Talon. State what you set out to do. And so we've got several bullet points
shit.
here. Slay blank, a great blight on the land. What
I
is
need
it
to kill the crows.
Kill the crows. Okay. Is that like crow people? Kind of like
They
you're an
are
owl
literally
person?
the crow people. They're the black, evil,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
like reverse. Like they're just against the owls.
They're
they
like
need
the
to die.
antithesis of your people.
Yes.
Okay.
They have sharp, pointed beaks, and we have curved, sleek beaks.
Okay. And are they generally an evil type of creature?
They're terrible. They just attack and accost my people all the time.
Okay.
Are they magical?
No, they are literally crow people.
They're just like
No, I mean like
skags.
are there crow wizards in there, or are they all just like mundane fightery types?
You know what? I'll leave that up to you. You just give me
Yeah,
an
we'll
answer
see.
on that
Maybe
one.
we don't. Let's leave that open. Let's leave that blank. We don't know.
All right.
You've only been tacked by these sort of like just fucking mercenary style, just low
They're
dregs.
crow people. They're assassins. They would rather stab you in the back than engage you in a fair duel.
So that was one possible quest option. You can choose that, or you could alternatively say that you're out to defend blank from the inequities that beset them, or you hope to discover the truth of blank. It would be one of these three things for this first quest undertaking.
I hope to find the origins of my people. Where did we come from? Why are we against the crows all the time? Why do they hate us?
Okay. Why are we at war with the crows?
It's an old
Where
battle.
does the hatred stem from?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll leave that up for now. Let's say don't pick yet, but those are a couple options for you to pick for your quest feature.
All right.
So you also have to choose up to 2 boons. I'll just say a few of these. You can pick 2 of these. An unwavering sense of direction to do or blank. Invulnerability to blank, edged weapons, fire, enchantment, etc. Again, these are like boons from your god, gifts from your god. Maybe you have a mark of divine authority. You have a sense that pierces through lies. a voice that transcends language, allowing you to communicate with most things. A freedom from hunger, thirst, and sleep. Your god requires
fuck.
no need for you to feed on shitty rations. So you can pick two
Or
of those. I can repeat them, or you can pull it up on the site.
I do not require rations. I just basically cannot. I don't need to eat ever.
Okay.
Or sleep.
Or sleep. And then also I want to. There's something about lies in there.
Yeah.
Like
So you have senses that pierce through lies.
Yeah, that's the one. I can use my fiery white eyeballs and peer through people to see, make sure that they don't tell lies.
Okay.
Oh man.
This is good. This is good. Yeah. Well, we should try to focus more on these story-focused character points.
Yeah. I don't get shit like that.
So, let's figure this out. So, you have to have a vow or set of vows that you must maintain to keep these boons. Essentially, they're blessings from your god, but if you stray from your god's path, you would lose these boons. So we can. I would like to open this up to round table voting or discussion here. Kyle having a bit more weight in this matter, but you could have a vow of honor, where you might be forbidden from cowardly tactics and tricks. You can have a vow of temperance, where you're forbidden in gluttony and food and drink, and the pleasures of flesh, which would tie in pretty nicely to the boon itself. By not indulging in gluttony, you no longer need to eat or drink. That's one possible tie-in. It could be a vow of piety. You must observe like a daily holy service or some sort of ritual. It could be a vow of valor, you forbid suffering any evil creatures to live. You must remove these evils. It could be a vow of truth. You're forbidden to lie, and you do not stand for lies being spoken around you. Or it could be a vow of hospitality. Requiring you to comfort those in need, no matter who or what they are.
I vote for number one or the lies. Like basically,
I like the lies.
I cannot tell a lie, or I need
You don't
to
suffer.
stand. Yeah, no suffering.
We'll never be able to like lie our way past some guards.
Yeah, your Talon will not abide by that shit.
I vote. I
Or
vote
his
for the
vow.
lie telling.
The lies. Okay,
Yeah.
what you would have, it would go again. That would tie nicely with your ability to pierce through lies. You could sense when these fools were trying to lie about something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I cannot tell a lie, and I can tell when people are telling a lie.
Yeah. Okay. So that your bonds will be tied to a single. For now, we'll just do a single one. A single vow of truth.
I don't like lies.
Lies are forbidden.
Lies are for
By you
bitches.
and others.
What's a bidden? They're not good.
So I assume you're going lawful, or possibly good.
Yeah, I'm going for lawful.
Okay. Alright, so you deny mercy to a criminal or unbeliever. Okay. And we'll come back to you, because then we gotta pick like bonds that connect you to the other guys. David? Touching back in.
Hello.
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 You are a dwarf.
What are you thinking?
A drunken dwarf arm wrestler.
My name is Garth Nash, Bonebreaker,
Oh shit!
Does that
He
mean you
really
a barbarian?
and I'm the Grumpy Orc.
Oh.
The Grumpy Orc Barbarian.
Oh shit!
That's not a paladin.
I've got shrouded eyes and strange tattoos.
What do the tattoos
Okay, hold
look
on.
like?
Hold on, let me catch up to this awesomeness. Hold on a second. Barbarian. What's your name?
My name is Garth Nash, Bonebreaker.
I love how I just raped you, and then you get like the perfect like setup for a new character.
Is that Garth Nash one word, or is Nash Bonebreaker one word? Or is that three words?
Yes.
3 words.
No, I mean just yes.
Yes. Okay. I'll make it a bit.
He doesn't even know how to spell it.
Yes.
He's just
okay.
he's a proud bone breaker.
Perhaps Bonebreaker is his title. In terms of that look you were talking about,
Well, I've got shrouded eyes.
shrouded eyes. Is that shrouded with physical garments, or shrouded because your brow is so fucking huge, you barbarian bastard?
I've got a big old brow.
Shrouded eyes by his big old brow.
In orc culture, having a shrouded brow is that of high stature.
What about what's your build type like?
I'm big old and muscly.
Big and muscly.
From
Makes sense.
England.
Do you have any sort of noticeable things like strange tattoos, unusual jewelry?
I've got lots of tattoos.
Oh, okay. What kind of tattoos?
They're ritual tattoos, but the main one, comes up here like this, and it's like a hand grasping my throat.
But to the rest of everyone else, it looks like a penis.
What? Like, are these tattoos like? Are they just sort of like dark ink? Are they blood red? Are they?
They glow.
Sort of scorched. Ooh, they glow. Okay. And what is that hand, that grasping hand around your throat signify?
I just said what it was.
Shut up.
It's grasping stars that go up right here.
It's not ejaculating the stars from the fingertips. It's projecting the stars.
Yeah.
It's grasping at stars, which are also tattoos around your face.
Maybe not grasping stars. That's kind of gay.
Were you drunk when you got the tattoo?
Is there a large brown female orc who's got a matching tattoo?
Yeah, it's just think of like tattoos that are like intertwining, like maybe not necessarily a hand, but something that like
two dicks coming together.
Like he's consumed with this appetite for something.
Okay. All right.
For fame and glory.
Oh shit, Indiana Jones style.
Well, I want to know more about the grasping hand and its significance. In all seriousness.
Yeah, the grasping hand. Yeah.
It's all about just wanting more.
I mean,
wants to grab
insatiable.
Some.
He's never satisfied.
Okay. The hand. Okay, I missed that connection. I'm sorry.
And it's like it like speaks of, you know, there's this, he's got something that keeps him moving.
Yeah. Okay. As far as your garb, your dress style, is it more like
incredibly inappropriate clothes for whatever weather?
Does that mean like wearing like animal furs and leathers when it's like scorching hot out, or does that mean you're wearing like nothing but a leather thong around your large orc genitals and nothing else?
No, I'll also have chainmail. Like
okay.
Kind of rusted.
Okay.
But yeah, sure. Some kind of fur cloth or something draped over his shoulder on one side.
Yeah, almost as if they're like symbols you refuse to put down, no matter whether you need them. You
gonna roll for those attributes?
No.
It worked out. Dude,
you should
so
roll
you're taking the array.
Roll it.
Yeah, I'll roll it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Kluk regrets.
I mean,
I
Kluk
do.
could still roll technically.
I'm gonna lose out so hard if I do.
11.
11. Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's good.
13.
Average.
That's good.
Average.
Ooh, another 13.
You're not doing bad here.
13.
Oh my god.
You're doing pretty average.
And a 9.
Wow. Okay, he's got two
And
negative
a
ones.
9.
Oh no, it's a 0. 9's a 0. It's fine.
9's a 0.
Do I have one more?
Oh wait, no, that's it.
Oh no, 16.
But yeah, I mean, you get points as you go. Hey man.
You got
Again,
yes.
We're building complex gray characters
You
here.
got
You
3
don't
plus ones.
need to have a 16 to
Yeah,
be interesting.
You're pretty much on course.
You don't
here.
understand.
Shut up. You don't understand, but you will. You will. No matter which race you chose, in this case you chose Orc, you are considered an outsider. At the beginning of each session, and we'll see how much we use this. I can't decide if I like this. So far I like it, but at the beginning of each session, we can ask you something about your homeland. I prefer it come from the other player characters, but I as the GM can ask as well. Why you left, what you left behind, what it was like there, some great war story, etc. If you can answer, you get to mark 1 XP.
You just get XP for
Once per session. Well, yeah, so do other people if they actually
You know
spout
what?
war.
I
really?
prefer that. I like that.
I mean,
It's
I
cool.
like that too. Do I get that?
No.
No, we don't get it. But
You're
we
not
can
a
ask him
barbarian.
really shitty questions. We can ask him
okay,
really shitty
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
Like, what's the worst thing you ever put your dick in?
Whoa, that's true.
Whoa.
Was it sharp?
So,
Yeah. Did it make you bleed?
as a barbarian, you have an interesting choice. As one of your starting
actually.
moves, you have to pick an either/or ability or
I pick or.
power.
Can I answer the previous question?
About your outsiderness.
No, the question that my good paladin friend just asked me. What was
Oh, I
the
missed the
thing?
question.
What
please.
did you just put your dick in?
The worst thing. Her name
The
was
worst thing.
Ugnash. She was not good looking. Let me tell you.
Was it a tree?
No, it was a her.
Did it make you bleed?
Just a little bit, but that's pretty normal.
we are okay with this.
Garth. You have to choose between full plate and packing steel, which would allow you to ignore the clumsy tag on armor you wear,
Yeah. I'm
or unencumbered and unharmed.
doing it. I already picked.
Okay. All right. Because he is full plate and packing steel.
Yeah, and let me explain to you why.
Please.
There is a reason.
I'd love it.
Herculean appetite.
Oh.
He desires fame and glory through conquest.
Ooh. And so,
So
in
like
a way,
hot-
donning yourself with pretty metal and becoming this visage of war
Yes.
is part of your insatiable appetite.
Yes.
Okay,
Or
so
like
well, yeah.
literally like hot dog eating contests.
Well, you choose 2 appetites, so fame and glory is one of them.
Yeah, and through conquest.
Physical
Oh,
hunger.
okay. I love how someone was doing his goddamn homework.
That's right. That is right.
Conquest and fame and glory. I love it. Okay. So, others may content themselves with just a taste of wine or dominion over a servant or two, but you want more. You want conquest and fame and glory. While pursuing one of your appetites, if you would roll for a move, instead of rolling just 2d6, you can roll 1d6 plus 1d8. Actually, no, I think whenever pursuing one of your appetites, you would have to do this. So you roll a d6 and a d8. And the way it works is if the d6 is a higher roll than the d8, I get to introduce a complication or danger that comes about due to your heedless pursuits for your insatiable desires.
Oh my god.
It's fucking cool. I like that a lot.
So it must be.
So you roll a shitty die and a higher die. If the shitty die beats the higher one, your desires take hold. It's almost like the wild magic kind of kicking in for Ace.
Dude, yes.
But it's a really neat
For a
mechanic.
fighter.
Yeah.
Fucking Conan right here. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Or wild magic.
So
Wild
you also
magic.
have the upper hand. Last breath rolls are kind of like you trying to turn your last dying breath into you recovering. And I'll take a brief aside to talk about last breath. It's kind of interesting. So when you're dying, you kind of catch a quick glimpse of what lies behind the black gates of Death's Kingdom. And maybe it's different for all of you. I'd have to describe it at the time. But much like in D&D when you roll a save versus death, you roll a 2d6 plus nothing. No bonuses apply here. other than some interesting classes that have some weird things for this. Death doesn't care how tough or cool you are. So on a 10 plus, you cheat death. You're in a bad spot, but you're still alive. On a 7 to 9, Death himself will offer you a bargain, potentially. You can take it and stabilize, or refuse and pass beyond the black gates into whatever fate awaits you. And this could be something like you must now dedicate or sacrifice and murder someone like once every full moon in order to stay alive. It's kind of like this dark bargain that you have to make to keep living.
How is that determined? Is that just you?
Yeah, it'll be completely dependent on you, the character, the situation, and whatever crazy shit we come up with.
Okay.
But there will basically, if you roll 7 to 9, you can. This is like you kind of get what you want, but there's a catch, and it could be anything. On 6 minus, your fate is sealed. You're marked as Death's own, and you'll cross the threshold soon. It might not be immediate too. It could be like a week from now, or like a few days from now, or in an hour.
So I have like a lay on hands type shit. How does that apply to this?
Well, let's see. Well, lay on hands allows you to potentially heal somebody or transfer like a damaged disease that they have to you, or potentially cure the disease outright if you roll well enough.
So can I heal people back from critical?
I think so. Let's see. So, damage can never take a character below 0 hit points in this game. Damage is determined by the attacker, blah, blah, blah. Let me see how Last Breath works again. I think as soon as you're taken to 0, you're dying, essentially. Harm and healing.
So basically, don't get down to 0, and if you do, you have to deal with death.
I believe so. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We could play house rules, whatever.
Oh, death. Here we go. Well, no, I just wanted to see what they are. So yeah, character who. Here we go. A character is reduced to 0 hit points. Immediately takes his last breath. Yeah, and blah blah blah. Depending on the outcome of the last breath, the character may become stable. A stable character stays at 0 hit points, but is alive and unconscious. If they receive healing, they regain consciousness and may return to battle or seek safety. So there you go.
All right.
So the whole last breath thing is independent of your interference in most situations, I think. Okay, cool. So let's see. So again, this circles back to the barbarian who's got the upper hand. You, unlike other people, always have a +1 ongoing bonus to your last breath roll. So you roll +1. And on a 7 to 9, you make an offer to death in return for your life. It's not the other way around. You, as the barbarian, make an offer to the death god himself. If death accepts, he'll return you to life. If not, you die. So while you have a bonus, your 7 to 9 is not as good.
I mean, it could be good.
It could be good.
What you offer
depending on your offer. Depends on your offer.
Is it you accepting, Fiddy? Like you have to accept the offer?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I like it.
But it has to be, this is interesting, very interesting situation that could come up out of that. But moving on, you're also very muscle bound. Any weapon automatically gains the forceful and messy tag, so no matter what, any weapon you wield will not do knockback and be very messy. And messy is a really fun tag. It doesn't do damage in a particularly it does damage in a particularly destructive way, ripping people and things apart. So like you just rip through bodies and objects and all that good shit. You also have What Are You Waiting For? When you cry out a challenge to your enemies, you roll plus your Constitution bonus. And on a 10 plus, they treat you as the most obvious threat to be dealt with and ignore your companions. And you get a +2 ongoing bonus against these enemies.
I feel like I should get that. It's crazy.
And ignore your commands. Take +2 damage again. No, well, you get +2 damage against them. The barbarian does.
But they all attack the barbarian.
Yeah, on a mediocre success, only a few of them, the weakest ones, fall prey to your taunting. What alignment are you going?
Chaotic.
Yeah, makes sense. You eschew a convention of the civilized world. Not gonna lie, I don't know what eschew means. You deliberately
Eschew.
avoid eschew. Okay, so there's some part of the some convention in the civilized social world that
Like
that
eating
will
with
be in.
silverware.
Yeah, there's something that you're going to
Or
have
washing
to
your hands after
completely
you piss yourself.
refuse to do. Completely refuse to do.
Shower.
What is it that you refuse to do?
Luke, all of those were like really
Pretty good.
suggestions.
Yeah.
All of those.
Oh,
I mean, you could do all of them. You don't
Take
need to
your
limit.
shoes off.
Or pay for food.
You don't need to limit them to one.
Leaving tips. Leaving tips.
Maybe you.
Leaving tips.
Taking your shoes off in another person's home.
Ooh.
He doesn't. Did he even
So
wear
rude.
shoes? Furred boots, probably.
All right,
Yeah.
you've got
For boots.
What do you think? What do you think,
He's from-
Garth?
just never bathe ever.
Please don't call him Garth. Call him like.
Garth Nash.
Garth.
His name's
Bob.
Garth.
He told me his name was
His
Garth.
first name.
The bathing is
originally-
funny.
You just want to
My
do
name
Nash?
is Garth Nash Bonebreaker. If you call me Garth, I will kill you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's all
I
one.
will gnash your bones.
He hates his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
You prefer people
And
to
he
use your title, Bonebreaker?
He refuses to call people by their titled names.
That's what he eschews.
Okay.
He refuses
So, like,
to use
like-
titles.
So
Do you
if we
just-
ever-
want a nickname like Sawyer?
But you have a
from
title.
So if we ever encounter a king, we're just fucking dead.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you just call him Pipsqueak.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a duke.
I
You're
didn't-
like, all right, Dick.
I didn't say that he insults him, but if it's like King Peter, he's just like, "Hey, Peter."
Oh, nice. Okay,
Alright,
so
alright.
no titles. Just
Yeah.
leaves out
All
titles.
right. You've got some starting gear. Blah blah blah. You can choose between an axe or a two-handed sword.
Two-handed sword,
Yeah, you do.
That's
He
good.
said quickly,
chainmail.
Yeah. Boom.
specifically.
Let's. Okay. This is great. I think that's pretty good for Garth Nash Bonebreaker. I don't know which part of the name I can use.
I guess you'll have to figure it out.
Oh no,
let's-
you would
let's
take
circle-
offense to one.
Let's circle back to.
It would be Garth Nash.
Oh here. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't actually say Bonebreaker.
Yeah, it's just Garth Nash.
Or
but
he
your name
only
is Garth Nash
acknowledges-
Broker.
No. I said that I don't call other people by their title.
But he
because
expects them to
I-
use his
Oh,
title.
I
Okay,
am
okay.
seeking fame and glory, so they will refer to me
How
by my
come-
title.
I can't wait until you meet another Bonebreaker, though.
I know, right?
Then you're gonna be like, "Whoa!"
Clue, does the immolator have a name? I'm still working on that, which is fine.
Shit.
Okay, so
That's not the name. That's not the
let's
name.
go with
No, his
let's
name
go
is
with
shit.
no.
His name is shit. His
Yeah.
name is shit.
Well, actually, okay, so he's mute. So people like he's taking the names that people have given him.
Okay,
Oh.
well, okay, so all right, we'll
Like
circle
the
back to
deaf
everyone
one.
else then and see what they
Yeah.
call you.
The deaf one.
Well, actually, fuck it. You all have met in some capacity. What do you
Right.
refer to the mute
What do you
immolator
all call me?
salamanders?
Giant red salamander that looks like that picture I sent.
I
Firebug.
call him Silence.
Ooh.
Where did you post that picture anyway? Is that in
G-chat.
chat? The real
Oh
one?
shit. Can you post it again?
Yeah, we'll do. It is. Ow. Boom. That.
Oh shit, you're in the other one.
Here, I can
No,
drop
that's,
it on
that's,
that one.
that's the good one. Put it in
that.
that one. Yeah, got it.
Hold on, I'm looking.
I'll put it in
Dungeons and
OneNote.
Dragons.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, what kind of names
Oh,
do you?
I
use
call
for
him
this guy?
Gnarl. Gnarl.
Gnarl.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bone Gnasher Crusher. What do you, Garth? What do you?
What?
What do you call this guy? So you've seen this fiery salamander thing.
We fought together.
Yeah.
We've
what-
got a pass.
He's never spoken a single word to you, but he's proven himself in some capacity, so you don't mind.
I call him Straps.
What do you guys what nicknames do you have for him?
Flame Striker.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But I just call him Flamer.
Old Gristletail.
Flaming straps.
call him the old salamander.
Oh,
nipples.
Gristletail. Old lizard.
Yeah.
Lizzie. Elizabeth.
Sell a woman Tander.
All right. Well, we'll keep.
He's
we'll
responded positively to straps.
keep straps.
Yep. It's the only time you ever see him smile. That's when you call them straps.
Old leather straps. Smiled with a toothy salamander grin.
But I call him boots when I'm angry at him.
You've seen him brandish a burning blade in combat. It's pretty interesting. And even turn his hands into molten flame and sort of fix pieces of broken weaponry on the battlefield.
Straps is one of the few people that Bonebreaker really feels akin to.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right.
Talon also kind of trusts him a little bit.
All right. Symbol of sacrifices past. I forget where that came from.
Oh yeah, I begin with a symbol of my sacrifices past.
Yeah.
So.
Was that in the gear?
Okay, that's gonna be.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. A necklace of teeth, but it's the teeth of the wizards that brought me into this world. Actually, it's the
some
teeth
of them,
like
maybe
a couple of them. Yeah, because
Yeah.
a couple of them got away. So, and I'm hunting them, but like some of their teeth, and I kind of need help with the race because I don't think they should all be human.
Okay. Well, I mean, were you conscious, sentient, aware enough to see and know what all of them were, or was some of it like maybe a mystery?
Are there beaks on it?
Could be.
Oh.
If there's beaks, I'm gonna have problems with you.
No, not beaks. But so
like crow beaks.
That's I was gonna say like crow beaks.
If there's
Like
crow beaks that
if crows were involved
Yep.
at all, yes,
Remember,
there'd be a crow beak. on there.
they were friends. We are friends.
Okay.
If there's crow beaks.
Maybe you're not sure.
Yeah.
And
it's some mangled looking bone.
You've
It's like
pierced through his not his words, but his drawings, his writings, his gestures, since he hasn't spoken. And you've pierced through these communications and realized that he's speaking the truth when he says he doesn't know, but he thinks that maybe the crows were involved. Leave it a little open for now, perhaps.
Here we go.
Talon can tell the difference between a crow and an owl beak.
I'd say it's kind of mangled. Yeah. But I'm gonna keep filling up that necklace with the rest of my tormentors.
All right.
So they're all just teeth, though, right? None of them are beaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the bonds a little bit.
Some bones. Call it bones. That way, it's like it could be anything. It doesn't have to be teeth.
Okay, so we're going
bones of
full
my
ace.
enemies.
We're going full ace here.
Really?
Yep.
Is that what?
You really are. Yeah, you are.
You are a trope, a walking trope.
No, you are, sir.
We are.
I did it first.
All right. Let's see.
You're gonna talk to the bones? Are you gonna control you?
Let's talk. It's okay.
All right. So
Maybe they start whispering.
you've got you've all got some different bonds. Let's stay on straps or whatever we're calling Klug here. One of the first bonds you have is blank has felt the hellish touch of fire. Now they know my strength.
Not that they felt fire because of me.
No,
but,
not
like,
necessarily. Well,
is anyone else here burned from something in their past? That's not necessarily me.
yeah. I mean, I think they would just have to have a respect for fire
Like a
itself
brush with
through some
fire,
sort of experience they had.
Wait, Deadwards, who are you again? Sorry.
What?
Barbarian.
Yeah, I'm barbarian.
A barbarian? Okay.
I'm gonna pitch something. Your family died in a fire.
Who's
Oh,
my
shit.
family?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Cool.
They did hard.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you
Done.
know my strength.
Okay. So
Well, does
Garth.
that mean? Wait.
Garth has
fucking calling me Darth again.
Garth has felt the hellish touch of
Bone
fire.
crusher.
Now they know my strength, and that is related to losing some family or clansmen or tribe members.
Whole
Wait.
family.
You're telling
Whole
me
family.
that I lost people to hellish fire, and now I know your strength?
Well,
Yes.
it would be a recognition of the power and the fear of fire potentially. Now a bond needs to be agreed upon by both parties, both characters.
Am I a fucking caveman? Is that?
Ooh.
bad.
I don't know. I just pitched it. You
I
have
don't
to
I don't
accept-
know that it's saying you're afraid of fire so much as
No, just-
you have a respect for the strength of the fire. So
Yeah,
that when you see him using the fire,
But
Compliment pitch.
my respect is not because people died from my clan. It's because I watched fire destroy.
you know what? I
my
think we're reading
enemies.
this
Oh,
wrong
there you
too.
go.
We're reading this wrong too,
What?
right? So
Are we? Shit.
yeah. So the way bonds work, I think at least for this particular one, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up just the main bond thing, right? So bonds are what make you a party of adventurers, not just a random assortment of people. They're the feelings, thoughts, and shared history that tie you together. You'll always have at least one bond, you'll often have more. Each bond is a simple statement that relates your character to another player character. Your class gives you a few to start with, which you'll replace your starting bonds with and gain new ones over time and through play. So you resolve bonds. At the end of each session, you may resolve one bond. Resolution of a bond depends on both you and the player of the character you share that bond with, and you suggest that the bond has been resolved. Both parties have to agree. When you resolve a bond, you get to mark, the person resolving the bond gets to mark XP.
So you can't really resolve something like that. It's
That's
just
what I'm
more
saying.
like
So
a-
we were writing that wrong. I think the
Okay.
way that it's really intended to be used is that you, Immolator, can name someone that you intend to make feel the hellish touch of fire and know your strength.
But then how do you resolve that?
Well, that would have to happen in play.
You'd have to kill someone with fire.
All right.
Well, they'd have to
are there-
just they'd have to
ready?
feel the hellish touch of your fire and know
You'd
your
have to
strength.
Kill someone with fire.
And that could be interpreted a lot of ways, I think. Like, that could be you actually doing something to an ally, or maybe an ally's encased in ice by a crow wizard.
Okay.
And you touch and melt the fire with your magic flames. I
So
don't
this, okay. So
It
this
could be
is,
interpreted a lot of ways.
a bond can also be created in a session, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
what if we save
Yeah,
that one?
Palindor did not defend me when the goblins were raining down upon me. I can no longer trust Palindor. That's a bond. And now going forward, if something happened and Palindor did defend you or he redeemed yourself in your eyes, you would say, I think this bond is resolved. And then if we all agree, then it's resolved and you gain XP.
All right,
So
I
it's
got one.
a way to build
Okay.
tighter and tighter bonds with each other as player
Right.
characters, and also sort of drive interesting points into the story.
I got one. Here's a backstory. So Talon, the crows, specifically one called Darkclaw, brought fire upon my people, and they burnt the nests out of Talon's people.
Okay. So it's just like a
Darkclaw,
a little back-
Darkclaw, the crow.
So can you repeat that? I wasn't ready.
He brought fire upon my people, and he burnt the nests out of Talon's people.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, that's just like a fun backstory point for us.
Yep.
Backstory?
There's a little thing.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's not necessarily a bond, right? I mean, this is just a story point.
So fire in general, I don't like it because it burnt
Okay.
all the nests out of my people.
Okay.
Make that.
Well, there you go. All right. Okay, I see where you're going with that. So now, you know this a little bit, having been with Talon. So you could say, like, that first bond, like that default bond, you could say, like, you want to make him know the strength of your fire.
I want him to know the strength of fire and how potentially terrible it is.
Well, I mean, this is like a thing for an immolator here.
Yeah.
To flex their fire strength in a way.
Curb it
Yeah,
because it brings nothing. It brings nothing but darkness.
There you go. Like a better one, I think to start with is like the second one for the emulator. I will teach blank the true meaning of sacrifice.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Maybe you feel someone doesn't know what sacrifice truly is. They haven't burned enough bridges, or done something.
They haven't burned enough bridges.
That's one of your abilities.
What's Clue's character's name? I'll teach them meaning of fire.
Or you could take I cast something into the fire for blank, and again this is another player, and still owe them their due.
So what does that mean? Still owe them their due.
So that means you owe somebody for you cast something into the fire for blank, and you owe them for that. I don't know.
No way.
You're gonna have to get creative in how.
Yeah. Okay.
Because this emulator is all about like burning, sacrificing. Like if you look at some of the abilities for this class, just to give you an idea. Moth to the flame. You tempt a weak mind with your inner fire.
Sick burn is amazing.
Yeah,
I insulted NPC.
Firebrand. When you introduce a new idea to an NPC, they can believe it to be their own. So you kind of like plant this fiery thought in their head. Let's see.
Yeah.
So wait, are we doing quest stuff or are we doing boons?
Bonds.
Well, the paladin's quest thing was like a unique thing to that class.
Okay.
Everybody else has bonds though, right?
Everyone has bonds.
Okay, skip me for now, like because I'm curious to see like what else.
All right. Let's go back to the paladin.
Here we go. I got one.
Yeah, so you have a bunch of options as a paladin, which
apostrophe misguided behavior endangers their very soul. So it's like Klug easily fits into that, right? Like Strap's misguided behavior endangers their very soul.
Yeah, so that could be a bond you write, and I guess like the interpretation would be, if you feel that you can resolve it, like you can change their behavior over time.
Yeah, stop burning shit.
Stop them from endangering their very soul. Then you would fulfill that bond and gain XP for it. And so like it kind of like ties you into like you almost have like this personal mini quest within each other's PCs, other player characters, to try to affect them. Like how are you tethered together?
Okay.
So you want to make that one legit?
Yeah, that's a legit.
Okay.
And so Talon like thinks that he doesn't need to sacrifice anything because
I can see the truth.
His God will do it or whatever.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'll be like, all right,
okay,
Talon,
now we're going.
I will teach Talon the true meaning of sacrifice.
I like it. All right. Let me
I'm gonna burn your undergarments while you're sleeping.
Okay. All right, let's see who wins.
So I will teach
this
Talon.
Is basically a bond off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is good. All right, Barbarian. Let's look at some of your bonds.
Debwords, what's your character's name again?
Bone
Crusher? Bone Crusher?
Nash.
Nash has stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely. Number 2.
So Barbarian bonds. Blank is puny and foolish, but amusing to me.
I'm pretty sure that's Kyle's character.
Blank's ways are strange and confusing.
Oh.
Blank is always getting into trouble. I must protect them from themselves. Blank shares my hunger for glory. The earth will tremble at our passing.
Ooh, that's me and you, Luke.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, Garth Nash, Bonebreaker is from I'm gonna say he's from the far north. So, fire is warmth. Fire is life in the far north, which explains his all the
affinity for it.
Yeah, like fire. I mean, he has respect for your character, Klug, but also like he has furs and shit because he's from the north.
Nice.
Okay. Do you want to write any other bonds? That's one.
He also
puny
thinks...
and foolish.
Oh yeah.
I like that you're pushing puny and foolish.
I mean, that's the first one. I'm just checking.
Come on, the owl is pretty. Wait, how tall is that owl?
3'6" or something.
3'6".
It's like gnome halfling size.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like foolish to Garthnash Bonebreaker is why is there a paladin pledged to some thing and seek good stuff when he pursues evil, not evil, but conquest and fame and glory. It's like everything that's opposite of what a paladin is, but he's still amusing.
Yeah, it's almost like you have a similar drive, but it's for your own personal gains, which makes sense. Why wouldn't you want more things, more food, more women? On the other hand, Talon does all of this stuff for nothing, for some invisible guy in the sky. It makes no sense. Okay, all right. Okay. Any others?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could always do the Talon is getting into trouble, like because I'm thinking back to that, but I don't know if I want to do like.
We can leave some of these blank and fill them in later too.
Just our 3 characters, because it would just be Talon for all of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this is just kind of like a test run, right? So.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any bonds they care to discuss?
I feel like once we get more people, we can make more bonds.
Yeah. All right, we get the idea. All right, so most of you have your starting moves, your alignment, your gear, your bonds, etc. This would be a good time to like maybe just spitball nothing like bound in game mechanics, but just any kind of character introduction. If you want to add more to your look about how you interpret your class, anything else pertinent about your character or your race. Whether your alignment is kind of open or if it's more secretive. Anything?
I have a question. About like sort of. Okay, so we got an owl person and a salamander person, and then a dwarf. Is that right?
Orc. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Right. Okay, so how standard are these races in this world?
I mean, well, what do you guys think? My first thought was they are definitely less common, at least in most places. But that's open to interpretation. Where this is
my first thought is let's give it a go.
Like they're less common in populated areas.
Like, would people think that we're immediately like
monsters?
Bandits or like monsters? Just if we walked into town, orc and a fucking salamander.
Let's find out.
Well, no. I mean, I think this is something that would be at least there'd be some kind of staple here, or some sort of information about this, right? So again, I say let's collaboratively define this. Do you think when you go town to town to, most major cities or even like mid-sized villages, would you think they're dominantly human, or some of the more classic fantasy races, or
dominantly human?
Or do you think this is a world where there's all kinds of crazy, wacky races everywhere?
I think there's a variety of creatures, but I think that humans like to stick together.
Dominant.
Well, they like to stick together, and like so you see more of them in cities.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that there's more humans. It just means that you see more of them congregated together for protection.
I was gonna say, like, what if you see humans as kind of like the wealthy race? That like basically like you're saying, congregate in cities, go for all that.
Maybe
like
there's more like remote, like elven villages or weird
exactly.
creatures.
In like the
salamander tribes that live in the subterranean, like where dwarves and other creatures
sort of like the
are.
slums or like the outskirts of these cities or something. You might find like some of these hovels that's more like salamanders or owl people or orcs and stuff.
Okay.
And then
in the seedy parts of town.
All right, yeah. So
Seedy
generally,
parts of town,
if you're in a town, a larger town, you might see some of these races, but they almost have like little mini ghettos of like where they live in those towns, maybe on the outskirts or in like the poorer parts of those towns.
Yeah, this world
and
is
maybe
racist as
maybe
fuck.
maybe their more
Yes.
natural domain is like more classic locations like salamanders having some sort of like cavernous underground areas and
like caves.
yeah, and like dwarves preferring the mountains, but again, some of them live in the cities as well, etc., etc. Owl people having some weird treetop village nest flying area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then there's probably like some. I don't know, do you want to say like there's like a far off land where there's like there's the owl sort of
Yeah, like a
country,
more
island
dominated
or something where it's, you go there and it's all owls.
I like
and
that. Yeah,
there's-
we could say the potential for that is definitely out there. I like that. Where do you think we'll be though? I mean, do you think we'll be in a more common traveled part of the world?
Oh,
We're working towards like the Central Empire.
I'm just throwing this out there. A giant Great Wall to the Empire, and we're on the outside of it, and it's the ghetto, and we need to get to the inside of it
Why?
because
I agree with you, but I'm curious what.
I want to talk to the king about obliterating the crows
Okay.
on a personal level.
Sorry, his name's not King, right? Peter.
I want to talk to
Peter.
Sir King Peter.
You mean Peter?
Exactly. I'm coming from a faraway land, and I need to get through. And there's only a set amount of people who can get through the wall, and we are on the list. It's our turn to get through.
Well, maybe that's the story, is that we have to find a way through the wall.
Yep.
Okay, so one possible a story idea, and I'd like to spitball as many as we can going forward here. Is you're near a large city, in sort of like the outer ring, which is more of like a ghetto district for some of the more exotic or poorer races, and you're being prevented from entering like the core central part of the city where you hope to seek an audience with like one of the leaders or one of the people in power.
Yes.
I don't think it should be like the emperor, king, or whoever.
Yeah.
Like let's say that the
Or
wall.
the captain of the guard, or
The wall like separates
some emissary.
But like way further inland into the empire is where like the king himself is. It's like maybe that's like the long quest is to get up to him or something. I don't know.
is this like we're on the outside of like that Attack on Titan city, and there's just like layers of walls?
Yeah. Yep.
And lands and stuff that we have to go through.
Yep.
Yeah, like I kind of imagined like if you looked at like the Pentagon from like the top down or something, like maybe there'd be like outer concentric rings of like districts that, you know, like the poorer ones are towards the outside. It's like not only do they keep the prestige of it being in the center, but the outer walls and like the outer layers, the outer rings kind of serve as a sort of natural protection, like, oh, sacrifice the poor people first.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the idea of like this campaign or like one-off adventure or whatever taking place in an
never know.
urban setting. Just like trying to get into the city and then make our way through it and all its layers. Go through the sewer to get underneath the wall maybe at one point.
Hire
Salamanders, by the way,
tunnel.
do not clump. Like they're not what do you
They
call
don't
it?
clump.
They
Salamanders
don't get hit by none of that AoE.
They're not like large tribes, or no, they don't get into very large tribes. Like they get into
Very
like small
aggressive.
groups, small packs.
Yeah.
So like you would never find like more than 5 in one place or something.
Everyone knows the old saying: salamanders don't clump.
Salamanders don't clump.
Salamanders
I'm putting
don't
it
clump.
in quotes.
I don't know how useful that is, but
That's
they
good.
also they congregate in caves.
They don't
But
form
not
large
large
communities. Yeah, large
Yeah, no large
communities.
communities.
How
Okay.
big are you?
Like humanoid size or tall?
Says the
Huge.
barbarian.
Enormous, Humongous. That's what it was.
For a salamander.
Wait,
Like-
are we?
Yeah.
Are we
Maybe like
equal
you coil
stature?
up and side like taller than a human.
Yeah.
I imagine
7 foot.
barbarian's pretty tall.
7
and-
foot tall.
How long is your tail?
Talon is no more than 3 feet tall.
How long is your tail?
Just like 4 feet.
4 feet behind you?
Yeah, like in
Yeah,
inches,
4 feet
or are we
behind.
talking?
Yeah, it's like a third leg basically.
So it's kind of stumpy.
I'm like
It's
a tripod.
It's big for a salamander.
It's a little stumpy only because the tip has been cut off.
Is it?
I
Can
lost
it
it
be
in battle.
armor capped at the end?
Is it pierced?
Yes. Actually, there could be a flail there if you want. Like Morningstar.
Oh.
Like a little spike. Yeah, it's got the armor with a spike on it.
So wait, how long's your stumpy tail?
4 foot.
It's 4 foot as the so like at 4 foot and then after
Three,
the 4
3
feet.
foot. 3 foot.
Okay.
And then like that tip's been cut
But
off. So it's 3
he's
feet.
only 4 feet in total, so it's like a really long tail.
What? No, I'm 7 foot. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What are okay? Let's put a pin in the into the city, into the empire story idea. What are some other interesting sort of elevator pitches for potential scenarios we could drop into? Possibly one. What'd you say?
Oh, we have a name.
The
Oh.
deep dark.
The deep dark. Okay, I
Dark.
like that. Go on. What comes to mind when you think of the deep dark? Is that like referring into like the subterranean?
Yeah.
Like a dungeon, an old ruined cavern, underground city, home of the
Underground
salamander
city,
people.
I like the idea of an underground city. They should be looking for something, but I don't know what. Maybe an item of power, or
What about a person of power?
what about something that allows them to
Ooh. How about
find something, like they can ask it a question, like for the
Like
location.
an oracle.
how
Yeah.
about a sacred egg, a golden egg that's gonna hatch,
Ooh.
like something that's gonna turn into something else.
A golden egg in the subterranean, though. Maybe it's like a dark.
Yeah, like somebody who
Yeah.
smuggled the egg away,
They
Yeah.
stole it.
and it's gonna hatch into a.
Yeah, maybe that egg was like some lost sort of religion that worshipped a deity, and they didn't know that it was actually a hatchable egg. And
Like
that-
a crow deity.
yeah, and like maybe that sort of dark temple was down in this subterranean place, and it's been long forgotten. But you've been given, or you know, some information that led you to believe that this egg was kind of like the centerpiece of the temple, and you could find it and do something. With
Talon
it.
is hunting this egg, obviously, to dispatch. It's the one that's gonna rise to power, the crow power.
Then it should be a dark egg.
It's a dark egg. It's definitely a black egg.
But
Jet black. It's obsidian, an obsidian egg.
do the crows live underground?
They stashed it there.
They're like Skeksis.
So
They're like
Yeah.
crows that,
Oh, yeah.
whose wings don't work.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Aren't they like kind of like creepy, hairless, fucking?
No, dude, they're totally sketchy.
With like blind eyes.
yeah,
Totally
yeah.
Skeksy.
They're
Oh, yeah.
sketchy as shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fucking.
Fucking horrifying.
Yeah. Dark crystal. Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude, I love that.
Yeah. I'm with Talon. We gotta kill all those fuckers.
Yep. On fire. You gotta make a boiled egg.
Oh yeah.
that makes sense for the fire. Like the fire would work really well down there.
They took it away from the trees, the egg away from the trees, because that's the obvious place to hide it. So they brought it underground.
Maybe the crows, like, well, if we're going like for this like Skeksis underground crazy shit, like what if they originally like had some sort of alliance with the Owl people, like you all lived above the ground, you had some sort of like happy commingling avian creature community, and at some point got possessed by some dark magic or started worshiping this dark god, and maybe the egg they took was like this focal point of your religion, Al Paladin. Like it was this holy fucking egg that was supposed to be like, you know, eventually
they corrupted it?
Yeah,
Oh.
they corrupted it and like stole it to this dark
Yep.
temple, and they became these hairless. They used to be the crows, you know, allies. Now they're these hairless Skeksis, sort of crow mutant fucking creatures.
Alright, I'm down with that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and they got some dark rituals going on.
Yeah.
They
They fuck
ruined-
around with some
Yeah,
wizards.
they had
shit.
some dark crystals here and there that they used to power
they took the egg that was supposed to hatch the new king of the owls, and they corrupted it, and now it's
Okay.
this dark, hairless,
Okay.
fucked thing.
It's just Peter. It's not King.
Performing the dark ritual. Okay, alright, that's kind of cool. Anything else going on in the Deep Dark besides some of this shit? Like maybe there's something else alluring some of you there?
No, I mean, I was just thinking of like some other evil that lives down there
Yeah.
as well. So it's like it's not just them. It's like perhaps they're, I don't know.
Maybe
Well,
the true sort of followers, or the true thing of this like forgotten evil religion that drew these once good creatures here is you know, rumored to be down in the
Something
deep dark. The
belongs
deep-
to somebody
the deep,
else.
Deep dark.
Something that drips darkness.
Ooh,
Underdark.
okay, I like that.
The Underdark.
The shadow fell.
The dark from
Yeah, I
below.
mean, you know, you got to think something perverted these good creatures and you know,
Right.
lured them here. You know, probably there's more to this story than, you know, just good crows steal egg and disappear into the dark below and form some weird temple. All right. Anyone else? You wanna pivot?
Yep, let's pivot.
Do a little pivot.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to like tie straps to that story too. Like if these like evil
Yeah.
wizards are contorting races and shit, they could also have been doing that to salamanders.
Ooh,
And I
yeah.
like narrowly escaped kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Yeah, I mean, if you have any sort
And
of
as
possible
fortune would have
connection.
it, we have someone who wants to go kill all of them, and I agree.
Okay.
Because salamanders come from in caves and shit.
Maybe the salamanders were the original inhabitants of there, and this was an existing temple that got sort of twisted and torn apart and sort of changed when these creatures came down here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. All right.
Let's see.
What else?
That words refresh me.
With what?
Your character.
Garth Nash Bonebreaker.
Nash.
Barbarian who knows and respects the warmth of fire.
What about
And wait, hold on. And Clug.
Straps. Salamander.
Straps
Later.
the salamander. All right.
Boots?
So you guys are both like fire based.
Straps.
You're basically like fire based characters, right?
I'm from the north, so ice. Ice is far north.
I'm fire.
Ice and fire.
But I respect what fire is, because fire is life in the far north. What about a library on an island?
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, that holds the key to.
Why would you all be there? What would be like if we were to cut into like the beginning of a movie about this? What are you all there for? What's your purpose?
I know what I would be there for.
Please.
I would want to find a way to defeat the crows, an ancient way.
So you'd be seeking some old lost knowledge?
Old lost knowledge, like a weapon or some sort of like you're gonna crumble if I know this kind of knowledge.
Artifacts of power.
Yeah, and maybe our artifacts align.
Right.
Maybe we're all seeking the same artifact, but it does it does the same thing for each one of our wills.
I mean, like, you know, if it's like a library on an island, would you expect to find like weapons there or something else?
The idea
Yeah.
isn't we're not directly seeking the artifacts themselves there, but we're seeking
the tomes of
information.
knowledge.
It's
Magical library kind of thing.
maybe it's a library, but it doesn't just contain books. It contains a catalog of everything.
It's like the Library of Atlantis.
Yeah.
And it changes locations.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Oh, just like Aladdin 3.
Jesus.
Oh, and then I
maybe it's
can.
not an island.
So I found some wizard.
Well,
that
no,
told me-
no, hold on. It changes
What?
locations because it's not actually an island, but it's like
It's a
floating on some
turtle.
giant, yeah, you know that old.
The back of a turtle.
Yeah,
No one told us that.
yeah, but you don't know
Just
that.
like Aladdin 3.
Is that in Aladdin 3?
Yeah. And the hand.
I was thinking
and
of
maybe-
like One
The
Piece.
art of-
There's this like giant island. It's hard to find. It's a giant. Well, or it could be like on the back of like a giant, massive sea creature.
What if,
I'm just
what if
I'm
the
just putting it out
library-
there.
What
The
if the
artifact we're looking for is the hand of Midas.
What if the library is on a different plane and what we're seeking is portal, and the portal itself changes locations after it's been used?
I like that.
Okay,
That's fine.
like Dragon Ball.
So I stumbled upon a wizard that knew my origin and told me a way to get home and charged me with, or told me like, if you want to get home, you need to find this tome that he needs or whatever in order to cast the ritual to be able to send me back to my plane.
This was
So
one of the
I'm-
wizards that like had you. Like,
No,
had you
this
captured?
is like a good wizard.
A good wizard.
One that I almost killed, but then it turned out he was able to give me something I want. But yeah, he's a good wizard who's like, I can tell you how to get home. And he told me to like fetch this tome so he can do the spell in order to send me back. So that's
what's the tone?
searching for this. It's from this ancient library or magical library that
Okay.
we need to.
What's it do specifically?
It's probably got like, because he can like cast teleport. I'm imagining, but this specific tome describes the exact recipe for him to be able to send me back to my specific plane.
The exact
And-
coordinates to hone in on.
All right, and then
to
this
create-
plane, Talon is looking to send the crows back to this plane. He wants to suck them all up into this plane,
Into the fire plane.
into the fire plane.
The conflict for Talon would be he has to sacrifice a living something in order to make that happen.
He has to sacrifice himself. He has to sacrifice himself.
So no, not self, because you're paladin.
No,
so
no,
Oh,
yeah, that's too
another
easy. That's way too easy.
owl, another willing owl.
Yeah.
maybe not an owl. Maybe it's just something. Maybe it's like
A being, a willing being.
Yeah.
willing or unwilling. You have to make a choice.
Well, unwilling's too easy. It's like,
For-
you're fucked, and then everything's fine.
You mean it's easy for Ace to make that decision. For a paladin who lives by a law, you basically are forfeiting your god
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay.
to exact
Ooh.
revenge.
You're gonna have to make a
on
hard
your enemy.
choice eventually.
I choose it.
It might not be that easy when you get to it.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. All right.
But maybe
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I like the portal idea a lot. I was gonna say like another idea, if it's not like floating on the creature, it could be like this crazy, not like steampunk, but almost like I want to say like
Fortress?
ship punk. Like it's like a floating, almost like a city, like a mini city, just like floating, like on some sort of like water world type, core structure that just floats through the seas. Kind of cool. All right. Give me
What
some
if-
other. Go on.
What if that's a stop on the way to the portal?
Ooh.
Like what if they don't know, or maybe we start there and then we're
Do
so
that.
we're already
you're,
out
you're
at
in this.
sea.
You're in this like sea
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, and then the goal is to find information to find the portal.
In this
We could go,
city on the sea.
We could go Miyazaki
Like
on this poop.
which film?
All of them because
All
they're
of them,
all
yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
The forest is dying. No one can survive anymore.
Are you pivoting to a new pitch here?
Yeah, new pitch.
So like the world is dying. That's our
Yeah.
title. That's our tagline.
It's all the crow's fault.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge. Not that the crows are wrong. I want to challenge you to think of other things besides the crows.
No. What I like is that he blames the crows for
Blames the crows for everything. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
have to.
not-
I have to.
It's
I
not
have to.
like that's a character thing. Story-wise,
Yeah, story-wise,
crows,
they don't have to
uh,
be the end game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's your character angle. Let's come at this from like in
Roll it.
character thought process, and then sort of out of character, like bird's eye view of like what might actually be happening.
All right, world's dying, but how
World's
does it
dying.
relate to you guys?
Or so Talon believes.
Have you? So I don't know like how tech punk you're getting, but I just recently discovered something called Mortal Engines. Have you heard of this?
No.
So I linked 2 images from this. Basically, like the premise is the planet stops spinning, and in order for life to be sustainable,
That's cool.
you have to build your city on this like moving platform that has to basically rotate with the period of the rotation of the planet around the sun, right? So it could be Earth.
So it's always moving.
So-
yeah.
It's like creeping, right? Because like you have to match sort of orbital period. So over a year, like it would actually make a full revolution around the planet. But I don't think there's something about like when you have to leave this city to go do something, or like the city's like
Right.
at this time of the year, it's in this one spot that you could actually
Well, it's
safely
kind of. Well,
venture out.
does it like? Do you think it stops at times, or is it like always moving?
Well, to match the sunlight, because like apart from the sunlight, you know, all the evil shit comes out and it's cold.
Right.
I don't know. That was like the log line that I read. I haven't read the book or anything, but
So,
I thought like the premise is pretty cool. Like the world's dying, and then like parts of it become
That's kind
uninhabitable.
of cool. That
That's
means
kinda
that the Earth doesn't rotate anymore. The
Right.
people on the planet rotate around
Yeah.
the Earth.
Yeah.
The
But like
equal-
how? I mean, like realistically, how often would the thing need to move? I'm just speaking because I really don't know.
it would have to move every 24 hours. It have to move fast as fuck.
I mean,
Or it just like slowly creeps along because it has to go around the Earth in 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially. Right?
It have to
So, like,
go
I
around
imagine-
one day.
To match the side of the sun. Yeah.
Hmm.
so it is always facing. It's like the moon. It's always facing because the Earth spins
Yeah.
It would have to rotate
one
around the
revolution
entire.
in 24 hours.
Yeah.
No, so in
every-
this setting, the Earth stops spinning, but it's still orbiting,
Completely stops.
right? So yeah, exactly. So now, like an orbital period is a year instead of 24 hours.
Oh,
I see,
okay,
I
okay,
see, I
okay.
see, I see.
So every year it makes one revolution of the Earth.
Right. So I don't know, like how fast it means this is moving. Like
I
on
mean,
the
I
surface.
don't know. Okay, well, okay. Let's say science aside, I thought
Right,
the
right,
idea, I thought the idea of it potentially being this thing where like it moves very slowly, so that like say you were to like go off on a mission into the wastes or the mountains or something, while this the city you left the city to go on this mission. If you didn't get back within 24 hours, it would become more of a journey to catch up to the thing.
Oh no! How about everyone stays stationary and you just have a super long nighttime and a super long daytime? You have like super evil time and super good time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I love this idea. Like the Earth's dying, right? And so we can try to save it. I
Yeah,
don't know what that means.
I don't know how
I
we.
mean,
would
it's got
start
some
that.
interesting.
By killing all the crows.
Yeah.
Interesting gameplay ideas. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. Like, and I think it could still be pretty fantasy based with maybe like
Right.
some slight sort of sci fantasy woven in.
I recently saw Aeon Flux, and they
Oh,
went with
yeah.
this whole like there's a city, and they built like this giant wall, and then like everything outside of that has been killed off by a plague, and everything inside has been like tightly controlled and whatever. And then
Boom. I can't believe you watched that movie.
I mean, it was background noise. I was doing other stuff, but yeah. I mean, come on, you got like silly premises like that. But I think it's cool, like this idea of like the outside world has become overrun, and it's it's super dangerous, it's lethal, evil at night, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then
Good stuff.
inside this bubble is actually like super dangerous and authoritarian, and like has been taken over by like an evil dictator. So, what do you do, right? You got to destroy the system, or escape.
Okay. Interesting.
Judge Dredd's a little like that, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. What about? Think about a couple more elevator pitches while I take a leak.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
pretty similar. Like, at least in my head, that's like man versus nature,
Yeah.
right? So
Right,
and
out
we
to the
kinda
wastes.
have
Man,
like, how-
man versus man is real easy. Like, how about
we've kinda
how about
done
like there's
that.
like a tower, like a central tower that controls all of the food supply or something, and then they're unjustly giving it out to the world, so everyone's suffering, and we have to get inside.
What if it's like a lighthouse?
Yeah,
It's light, and somehow like that association of beaming light is
oh, and in the
Like
darkness, there's
resource.
monsters.
it's like resource for the people, whether it's food or supplies or whatever.
Yeah,
And
dude.
so people congregate to that, but the idea is that the light in the lighthouse starts to go out, or it starts like not being as consistent as it was. So the idea is like, why is it doing that? Like that's the whole
I'm
point.
all about that. That sounds cool. Like the light is like a guiding presence. Like if you're not in the light, then there's darkness around you. There's monsters and shit.
Hello.
Yeah. I like that.
And it's like where the lighthouse is, there's like mirrors throughout the city to like
What are we talking
reflect and
Oh, that's a good one. Yep.
refract the light.
Like
across.
old ones from the old days.
Yeah.
What are we going? What do we got going on here?
So we're going for like the light versus dark, but the idea that there's a city with a lighthouse, and the lighthouse like has this massive beams of light that come into the city, and they provide protection and resources for the people. And there's mirrors throughout the entire city that like reflect and refract that light as a form of protection. But the light, something happens to the light, or it starts to like, you know, if it happens at a consistent time, that it starts to, I don't know, flicker, starts to go out. People are like, what the fuck?
Something
You know, like,
something's
there's
been
panic.
disturbing
Just
the
a-
chain of light, basically.
Yeah.
Just to throw out there, people can fuel these little gems that they wear with light, and the light's running out. So like not everybody gets the light, so
What?
they're not
Yeah.
protected.
What if
So,
it's in an underground city that
Ooh.
happens?
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, so like not only does the light come into this underground city and like sort of pour and reflect through it, but everyone's got like these light crystals that they kind of like
Store.
charge, almost like there's like a power station equivalent, and they
Yes.
store it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You store light in the city, so like
So the
they
light
have
the light
reserve-
protects the city, and the light also protects the people, but it's got like a limited sort of charge
Yeah,
on
they
the
have,
Yeah,
end.
like, like don't go out on the streets without your light shit, because you're gonna get fucking obliterated by whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's like times of day, like that it, or
Mm.
I guess night that happens. Like let's say that it's day-night cycle of how you see the light that comes into the city. So they store the light, and let's say they have a reserve of storage, but things start happening, it disrupts that light, so they can't. Obviously, they have to use their supply, and there's alarm and panic, and
Yeah, I mean, and that could kind of tie into like the evil concentric city idea a little bit too, like whereas this once freely available resource, you know, once this thing starts disappearing, then you know the real personalities come out in terms of like, you know, any kind of form of government or people in power. Things could start getting kind of ugly across the board. Maybe you're there trying to prevent that, or maybe you're the cause of it. Like I don't know what. Why are you all here in this city? Is this where you're from? Are you here on an adventure?
Talon has definitely traveled.
Is this related to the Crow people?
I challenge you not to ask that.
It sounds like
Like I mean, well, the Skrillex people, you know, the Skeksis could
the
be
Skeksis, not
could be-
Skrillex.
could be living down
Skrillex
here.
people.
Could be down here. Maybe they're related.
Sounds a little bit like City of Ember.
yeah, dude, I was just gonna say that.
I don't know,
Sounds
City
just
of
I
Ember.
like. Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, if if we're kind of pitching ideas of like, I mean, I'd like to play out plots from some good movies.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest things about D&D is just like stealing cool plots and reshaping them, or like taking the framework and then seeing what happens when we get in there. So go on.
So here's another one. Is characters wake up to find themselves. Oh no, that kind of doesn't fucking work.
Right, man. Okay. There's no bad idea here. That whole thing.
Oh, okay, got it.
You're a beautiful snowflake.
Characters are like doing their thing, adventuring and all this stuff, and one day they just happen to accidentally discover the edge of the world.
Ooh, okay.
It's almost like
they're going through the mountain, and then they just fucking turn a corner, like a wall breaks down, and all of a sudden it's just fucking stars.
It's almost like Dark City, but not.
Yeah,
but I mean, you can actually.
I was going Dark City. You can actually. I like this discovery of the world, the edge of the world, and then trying to figure out where they are.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you actually look out and see like the cosmos, like the stars?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's not like a fucking actual wall, right? You see.
Right.
Space
just
beyond.
Stars. But here's the thing. I think like here's how you could hook into that. There are people that know what's going on, and
have there been people like thrown over the edge as some sort of like sacrifice or non-believers or?
Well, it was secret.
Yeah.
I think maybe people who have found out have been silenced, but random people go missing or something.
People go.
But
missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Sometimes they wake up and they're not who they were before.
You can just go straight up. Yeah. We seem to be the only people who remember what's going on from the previous day.
So wait! Everyone wakes up every day and they don't know what happened the day before.
Yeah, they didn't know what happened the day before. By the way, if you haven't seen this movie, you should. It's amazing.
Dark City.
Oh, Dark City! I've seen Dark City.
Okay, yeah. It's been a while. How much of it do you borrow? I mean, like just the fact that like you find the edge of the world, and it blows your mind. It's like, okay, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Like who knows where we actually are?
Oh, yeah.
Like is this actually the planet you grew up on, or have you been abducted?
You find out that you have to go back to the beginning to get to what you want.
Right? Is there a way off this plane? Flat Earth.
You wanted to escape, but you have to go back to the beginning.
Who knows where you really are? Perhaps you're just in some dark, deep crow dream, some tormented mental planescape. Prisoners in your own mind while the crows try to find out the truths you learned in the ancient, floating, hard-to-find library. Okay.
This is not particularly helpful for like an elevator pitch, but as a mechanic that happens within a story, something I don't see too often is like, do you ever play Skyrim?
Yeah, I do.
You know how like at pretty early on, you actually get the choice, like you run upon this civil war that's happening, and you get to choose between like helping faction A or faction B, but like neither one actually stands out as like the good guys. Like these guys are racist as fuck, but then these guys are like super like they hate the Empire and they're the rebels, and so you're thinking they're the good guys. But they're super racist, and then the other guys are the Imperials, but they believe they're like equality for everybody. So it's I don't know, like something about choice. Like something about like your choices affecting the world. So it's not like you on this adventure and it's just you versus this one guy, or you versus this one band of orcs or something like that, or goblins. But like when you say we get like hired to go clear out this like marauders camp or something, that actually does something bad, to like the economy or the world stage or something. Like perhaps they were actually like the finger in the dam of something worse, or I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, a
this
lot
idea of like Dungeon World is like your choices always have a cost.
And that's cool. I mean, I was just gonna say like there is a lot of things they call them like fronts, which is kind of like how you wrap up different factions and their motivations, and there is an ongoing like theme and mechanic in like the back end of the game, just innately that helps with trying to run all that stuff. Like you can deal with this, but the world is very much living, and by dealing with this at this time and maybe ignoring this thing, there are a lot of sort of ripple effects, and that's not like totally unique to Dungeon World, but they do have like a pretty great kind of built-in system that sort of focuses on that, I think. Do you want to do anything in the realm of like maybe like a more classic or traditional thing with a twist, or even just straight up classic thing, like some crazy wizard tower, some crazy dungeon that used to be this other thing, maybe something a bit more barbarian themed? Like what sort of things are you going for to obtain your fame and glory and to conquer all the things?
Yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to actually play out.
Like, is there some sort of reason you left your homeland to pursue these innate desires that drive you?
To fight a mighty force.
I think it's common for members of the tribe to go out and to seek glory. I think that's just like part
well,
of...
no, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I'm wondering what your particular angle...
Like, how do you know when you've satisfied
what is
goal?
it? What is it that set you off?
Do you
like,
kill a king?
What is it that you seek above all else in
you
the
could
realm of
kill a
those
king.
categories?
You keep what you kill.
The crow king.
Yeah, whatever you kill, you keep is the custom of the people to the north, but that's not how it works everywhere else.
That's my sucker movie. Like, I know it's bad, but I love that movie.
Riddick 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
I'm flipping through just like my random concept art gallery here on the screen share. Like, what if there's some like fucking vortex at the center of the earth, and this is the library that's like swirling above it?
Jesus.
This like frozen thing, and it actually happens to be in the frozen barbaric north.
Yeah.
What if, Fade? What if?
I don't know.
I always love this like idea of being like hired by a wizard, but this wizards always have some like crafty fucking agenda and shit. Yeah, and it's like, and they're always pulling at the strings of like reality.
Well, that would make sense, right? So like maybe this wizard who told you about this thing, who you came to think was good, kind of like roped you all in on this little mission together to find this library or this ancient sort of citadel.
Right. Talon is very simple. Like, she wants to obliterate crows. She'll do anything. She'll look for knowledge. She'll look for people that can help her.
What if we went with they're trying to eradicate magic from the world, like magic and magic users.
Ooh.
Like,
that's kind of like the Dragon Age. Like, all the paladins are actually Templars, and like all the wizards are basically like need to be controlled and enslaved.
I was actually also thinking about the Legend of Korra. The whole idea that they're trying to get rid of the benders of the world, but the person who's in charge is in fact like a super specialized.
Right.
Well, okay. So I missed the setup on this. Who wants? They want magic users gone?
Yeah. So let's say that well, I don't know, like if magic has permeated the world forever, let's say that there's like, non-magic users are now becoming more prevalent. Magic is becoming more scarce, and there's like a fear associated with people who use magic. So they're trying to, a group of people, a holy order, whatever you want to do.
The Inquisition.
Yeah, it wants to eradicate magic and magic users from the world. But as it turns out, the twist is obviously that the people who eradicate the magic are actually highly specialized wizards or magicians or whatever who and so they're doing it for power for themselves. Is the
Yeah.
They're like manipulative illusionists that mind control people.
they're trying to consolidate the power. Like if no one else can use magic and they are,
Right.
then they'll be fucking gods among the common folk.
And so they've spun up some like holy orders to go out and fucking final solution magic users that don't obey their rules and
they prey on fear, the fear of the people, like the people's fear of magic being used. And if we go with that route, I'm re-rolling as an arcane duelist. Hands down.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I was thinking about
Alright, so
that.
that's more of like a potential overall world theme. Like a world thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
What
So
about...
stories can spin out of that.
Yeah, the Lost Stories is probably that's kind of like more of like an overarching sort of campaign theme, I think, than anything.
Yeah.
What about more like how? Oh, here's one of the crow people. Ooh, before they changed.
Oh, fucking! They strike from the shadows.
Yeah. Well, like even the thief example in the character select screen has a pretty cool crow person.
Yep, I saw that.
Were you about to say something a little more traditional? So you got a traditional idea.
No, I like so. I was gonna start asking more about like potential, like what is your collective character's story? Like why are you together? What are you a part of? Is it like a faction, an adventure group, a guild? What ties? Like let's just circling back more to why are you together? And I think this idea can come from anywhere. Like this idea itself can spawn story, like main story ideas. Story ideas can spawn reasons why you might be together. But like maybe we pivot to the other side of it for a few moments.
I think some of the earlier ideas were
sure, yeah, throw them
more
out there.
congruent. Like you wrote them down, I didn't.
You're talking about the story ideas or the reasons you're together?
The story ideas.
Yeah. And we're just kind of switching gears.
I'd say
for a
like
second.
the reason that Straps is with the group is they're strong. Like after going on like some murderous rampage or chaotic, vengeful rampage, trying to like hunt down his demons, he stumbles upon this group, like at least this pair. There's probably more that were able to like save his life in some way, and then he sees them as like worthy we call it allies.
Yeah,
and then
worthy companions.
And then so like say the trail goes cold on anyone, like the other people on my death list, and so I just stick it out with these guys until I hear of like, well, there's a way you could get home, and then so maybe that's like a side plot
them
for me
for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, like what about? Let's say like almost removing your individual character from the equation. What is this group of strange, like not necessarily that we're using these player characters in our full mission. This was kind of more of an exercise to me, I think, but if you want to keep them, that is totally fine. But like what is the reason that you're together? Were you a part of like some guild and like you're in the same class or like the same companions and you're trying to prove yourself?
I'm gonna go with we are such a unique pair that our group that we naturally clung to each other because there's no one else to cling to, either in this part of the world or because we're all so diverse and none of us would blend in anywhere else, so we blend in with each other.
Yeah, you're
misfits.
a bunch of outcasts.
I think it should be Indiana Jones 2 style, where like we're all after the Shankara stones, but they all mean different things to each other. So it's like I'm after killing the crows, so it's like we're gonna go after this artifact that's gonna murder them. But the artifact to you guys might be like, okay, we're gonna get rid of magic, or we're going to murder this other faction of people.
Right. Or maybe like I need that artifact in order to get home.
And,
yeah, exactly.
And I think we've hit on that pretty well with a lot of the themes. But like, how did you meet? Why? Like, what brought you together? What kept you together?
You know, classic Final Fantasy. We met in a bar.
I met in a bar. There was a bar fight, and we all
Met
came
in a
out
bar.
together.
Fuck you. Any other ideas on that topic? No. Huh?
I'm thinking combat. That's where my dude spends all his
Yeah.
time, is just fighting shit.
'Cause
And I'm
like-
thinking about how fierce, a salamander in his rage would be.
My character would be trying to constantly track down
But like,
crows.
what happened that time that you saw the salamander go?
It's surrounded, completely surrounded, and he leaps into even more enemies, and Tail is whipping, just like literally knocking people left and right, breathing fire. He's pulling fire from his hands and like just melting armor and shit all around him. And that association with fire is power, and then my Bonebreaker's whole deal is through conquest. So he just wants to fight everything.
And
So
if this
he
happened
sees
in a bar, Straps is like fighting, like he takes a guy and fucking throws him across the room, and he just lands in Nash's arms, and Nash is just like, and then throws him back, and then Straps like catches him, and then we just start throwing this guy back and forth, start playing catch.
But I like the idea of you throw it and the guy just like lands on the table and like slides, breaking all the glass, and just like arrives right in front of him, and he's just like, yeah,
cheers.
And then the guy kind of like the guy you threw looks up. He just does boom and just like completely knocks
Breaks
the
the
shit
table.
out of him. Yeah, completely
Okay.
splinters the table in half. And
Maybe-
and then you get hit by all of his friends, and then I'm like, let's do this.
Yep. We go back to back and start fucking people up.
I like that. Okay, so
I mean-
it's more like you're in the bar. Maybe the salamander was being didn't talk, wasn't
Harassed.
speaking, was being harassed. A bunch of
Yeah,
these
by
just
these racist
local
fucks.
thugs, or maybe like they were members of some sort of like fighters guild, thieves guild, some sort of group of guys. We're trying to throw you out, and like it just turned into this like massive like 10 against 1 bar fight, surrounded, flames blasted from the immolator, destroying and knocking back most of the enemies, sending one into the loving embrace of this barbarian who had just arrived here from the north. After bashing this guy's head in, the two of you locked eyes, no words needed, with a look that just said, "Let's do this." And you kind of fought side by side, and both proceeded to get kicked out and banned from the town, but sent on the road together, perhaps? Outcasts?
What if also to include in that?
Sure. I'm just spitballing here.
Talon is the voice for Straps, but Talon steps away to to deal with something, and like comes back.
Oh.
And I've got
I
a
like
guy in a
this.
headlock, and Straps is just like beating the shit out of the other guy.
Okay, yeah. Hold that beautiful thought for 1 second. Let's take a step back in time. So, some point prior to this, Talon and Straps became traveling companions and allies in some regard. And Talon, the lawful, just pure owl person, has become the voice, but the voice of reason, kind of shielding the chaotic immolator. And upon traveling to this one town for whatever reason, insert some blanks here, you, the voice and the shield behind your furious flaming friend, had to step away to deal with something. Maybe it was to convince them that yes, you should be allowed to get rooms here in this town for the night, despite your outlandish character. And during this, ensues the bar fight, something like that.
Yeah, to back up even further.
Yeah.
Say Talon met me first by, like, after a revenge-fueled rampage, I end up with like mortally fatal wounds. Wait, what do you call it? Just tragic wounds.
Yeah.
And
near fatal wounds.
Talon, near fatal wounds. And Talon was adventuring like on the road somewhere.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Okay, so what if you actually had a last breath moment, and your agreement with Death, who had been amused by your furious, flaming, uncontrolled rampage, wanted to, almost as a bet that he knew you wouldn't be able to keep, would tether you to this holier-than-thou paladin who would sort of keep you in check in some regard. I don't know the exact specifics, but like some sort of bargain had to be made there.
What if the enemies that you were fighting were the crows, and they put you into that death stance or whatever?
Yeah, the last breath moment.
Yeah, last breath.
Sent you to death's door.
Yeah, and then Death, as like humor, puts you with an owl whose sole desire is to kill.
Right, but Death tells me to, like, in order for him to relinquish his control on me, I have to convince the paladin to make a sacrifice.
To that the crows are good and I am
no,
evil.
No. Not that the crows are good. You'll never believe that. But to forgive the crows for the evil that they've done.
Whoa.
Wait, so the immolator has to convince the paladin that he needs to forgive the crows?
Well, because the climax of all of this is that hopefully we'll find some kind of tomb, and he has to make the decision: am I going to like have this thing that annihilates the crow, like an entire race of people, or sacrifice an individual, like the sacrifice of individual versus the sacrifice of a huge.
I'll take that bet.
So wait, which one's worse? Having the paladin sacrifices his oath to his god to kill all the crows, or forgive them and follow his god?
Exactly.
Like, am I trying to tear him away from what his god wants?
No, because if it's Death, then maybe.
Right, like, is getting the paladin.
I'll take that.
I'm wondering, because, like, are we treating the paladins like the paladin is against killing?
No, but the crows put you in that place, so you yourself want revenge on the crows.
Right. That's true.
But
when we say that place, like what place are we talking about?
Death's Door.
Death's Door. Okay, the crows.
Right.
So the crows put you at Death's Door.
Yeah, me and Talon both have the crows as an enemy.
You both hate the crows, but you Straps has to save the crows by convincing Talon to save the crows.
Right.
That's
okay.
That's how because I made a deal with Death.
Yes.
I have to convince Talon to forgive the crows.
I have to willingly forgive them.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Or just not completely annihilate them and let go of your holy quest to.
Does that count? Does that count?
Okay. I like that a lot. Oh man, I just had like a. Oh, so, I mean, did maybe the two of you meet during your like time of torture? Like maybe the crows were involved with these wizards. Like maybe these wizards were even involved with like mutating them into these sort of subterranean crow people.
I like the
I like the idea of like Talon healing me from death.
He's the good Samaritan, right?
Yeah.
He's the dude that comes up and saves you.
Like he was there to maybe go hunt the crows, Like you got drunk one night and you're like, I'm just gonna kill him myself. And as you're like walking through the forest to go kill him, like you stumble across my almost dead body and you're like, what the hell? He's been attacked by crows. And then you
there's there's like bird feathers like on your body, and you're like
crow feathers,
mutilated.
Crow feathers, yeah. Then you make a choice to heal me instead of following through with your drunken.
I can do that. That's within my character.
Oh wait, you don't need to eat or drink anymore. That's right.
I don't need to eat or drink, but I can get drunk.
There you go.
It's not against my law.
Okay, some interesting things that we could turn into good bonds, I think. I mean, it's getting pretty late. Maybe you spitball a couple more random main story ideas and then call it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Or roll some dice.
I like
I
this.
want to roll some dice. Let's roll some
dice. Yeah.
Wait, let's do 20 minutes of
combat trials.
Let's do 20 minutes of stuff.
Okay.
20 minutes of stuff. Let's do it.
All right. Where are we gonna start? Where are we starting?
Where everyone always starts.
In a bar.
Duh.
At the bar shortly after this fight.
I've got a better idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could start there, but I was thinking.
Well, no, come with it.
In a cave, in a jail, a prison of some kind. We're all prisoners within a place.
Ooh. We've been arrested, probably just because we're these races. We're an owl person, a salamander, and an orc. And then we just get fucking arrested because this world is
okay.
Racist.
Well, let's paint the stage a bit more clearly here. Is this sometime after the whole bar incident when you met the barbarian, the two of you?
Let's just say this is sometime later.
Sometime later in the same town, or have you traveled elsewhere?
No, I mean this is like, I don't know, like.
All right, ready?
Like months later, right?
Ready? Here we go.
It's not
Ready?
Origin story.
Ready? Talon is blacked out, but she wakes up. Her face down in a toilet full of water. She whips her head backwards. What happened?
What did happen?
What happened?
He's asking.
It's a she. She looks around. She sees a half orc and a whatever the fuck
full orc.
Yeah.
Full orc and a klug. And
salamander.
Straps just like leans back and then knocks on the bars.
The walls are cold and made out of stone, and there's a single window in the room, and there's metal. There's a metal door in front of her. It's like, whoo!
Okay. Those of you who are not just awakening from a drunken or physical beating induced slumber, know that there's a couple guards on patrol here in this late hour of the night. They don't have a particular schedule. They seem to be quite lazy. Both of them human, middle-aged, look like they couldn't give a shit about any of the dregs that have been brought down here tonight.
Well, I see you just waking up. Yeah, they did that. The gods.
And you look over, and whatever the Garth is, just hanging with his hand.
Garth.
Yeah, I know. I forgot his full name. Garth.
Bartholomew.
I see. We're chained against the wall.
Yeah. His hands are, and he's just. We're both chained.
Okay.
Your tail is chained to the wall, but the owl is free.
Yeah, they just kind of dunked your head in the shitter. But they chained us up.
Talon shakes her head uncontrollably. Like shit just like erupts off of her feathers onto you guys. It just splatters everywhere all over the walls.
Ugh. The chains above Straps' head starts glowing.
How long have I been out for?
Well, I'd say it's been however long we've been here, which feels at least an hour.
How much did I have to drink?
Yeah, the same amount you usually do.
One. Talon kind of stumbles over to the other two, and she starts to fumble around with the locks around their hands. Not quite. Yeah.
Don't worry about straps. Just get mine, okay?
She starts to peck uncontrollably at the locks. It seems like it's not going to make a big difference, but she continues to peck.
But
you go to peck at mine, but you notice it's extremely hot.
Since you're kind of short, you have to climb up on top of me because
my
hands are tied up here. And
there's tail feathers and shit feathers in your face. Like, yeah, I just peck at the locks. I don't think it's gonna work, guys. And then she jumps down.
That is disgusting.
What do you want me to do?
A random one of the guards kind of makes his rounds coming through and sees you all.
Hey, you asshat! Why don't you get me out of these chains and I'll show you a thing or two.
Talon kind of cowers down. What? I thought we were friends.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the guard. Fucking out.
Get you out of there. Now I like my job just fine. Just fine, thanks. You all keep it down in here, huh?
Talon
he's kind of just peering at you all in the cell.
Talon kind of walks forward like, tell me, do you really enjoy your job?
Not really, but it pays the bills.
Her eyes glow white and she peers into his soul.
He's kind of just leaning against the rough-hewn walls of this underground dank prison and looks in at you, stares into your piercing eyes, your piercing owl eyes.
Does he really not enjoy his job?
He really does not enjoy his job.
Oh.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you feel like maybe there's an angle there.
There is not.
So there's a couple of basic moves we could talk about. There's spouting lore, like we've kind of talked about before. You can say something useful about a subject relative to your situation, and depending on that, we can see if it's actually true or not, or what.
I call spouting lore.
You do what?
I use spouting lore.
Okay, well you have to
Yeah, the owl kind of bows down and, according to custom, you're allowed for us to take one 15-minute bathroom break per each of us. And you have not allowed us to do so. My comrades are chained up and they cannot take their bathroom break.
Alright, so
his fucking break.
I would think that is more of just like a persuasion type thing. Now,
it is common knowledge that while jailed, everyone gets one 15-minute bathroom break.
So you can, to step out of character while we learn the game just a little bit here and there. Yeah. So parlay exists, but in order to use parlay, you really need charisma. You need leverage.
You don't have any.
You don't have any charisma. No, you need something, some kind of leverage, like some kind of thing that they need or want. I'm trying to think if there's something else that really kind of would apply. So you could really defy danger, right? This is kind of just a dangerous situation. You're at the mercy of this guard. You could defy danger. You could act despite an imminent threat or a situation, and you could use quick thinking, intelligence, which it sounds like you're kind of doing, or you could do it more of like a charisma angle where you're using charm and social grace to educate this suffering fool. So it's up to you. But I definitely think this is more of a defy danger sort
Yep.
of skill use
Yep.
or move.
Okay,
So
let's try that one.
which angle are you sort of working here?
Let's use
As
Defy
this
Danger.
paladin, right? But like, there's a bunch of different branches in Defy Danger.
Let's use the charisma one.
Charisma. So you're using your charismatic nature as a holy paladin to
Yes.
just educate this fool on the workings of the systems and the laws of this land.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. You approach the bars and you just immediately start putting him in his place. Go on with your berating while you roll 2d6 plus your Constitution or your Charisma.
I don't
sorry.
know. I don't know how to do the plus charisma, but here's the 2d6.
That's okay. That's So we know you got a +3. So that +2. So that's an 11, which is definitely a 10 plus. And he says, he just starts scratching my face. I think you're right.
Those who defy the law are punished to the full extent of the law. You will not have vacation for many months, and you will be
Clearly-
your children will be bereft of their food for many months.
Please. Clearly, I am new to the job. I didn't know the full extent of the prisoner bylaws of this
No excuse.
this city.
I need to make tinkle.
He's fumbling with his ring of keys and starts nervously opening the lock to the door and says, "All right,
Who else needs to pee? Who else?
he's so stunned by and embarrassed by this that he doesn't even escort you out for your 15-minute break. He just sort of stands to the side and motions towards the stairwell leading up to the upstairs. Says, take your break, but 15 minutes, no more."
Oops! I flip people on accident. Apparently, these middle mouse people have flipped.
Yeah.
Woo!
I mean, I can lock it, but I thought it'd be easier just
No, it's
since
fine,
it's
it's
more
fine.
free form. Who cares?
You're very well to grant us the 15-minute pee break, as your family would suffer greatly if you denied us.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, this guy, you have outsmarted and bested this guy with your Defy Danger move here.
All right, I look around the
the-
room. Is it an enclosed room?
Yeah. I mean, there's only one other prison cell here in this small underground area. Where were you taken when you guys were taken prisoner? Those of you that weren't knocked unconscious. Do you recall?
That's you guys.
I'm talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So we witnessed a crime, right? Like someone
Okay.
was like getting robbed, or someone was getting robbed, and then some other people that came and just beat the shit out of this guy, and we were like right there watching this all happen, not being involved at all. But then as soon as the cops came, they saw us and they're like, "Arrest those guys!" And we're like, "Hey, we're part of this." And so like the shitty people are like, "Yeah, it's their fault." And so we just got arrested.
Yeah, and they immediately assumed it was you when they saw this like strange group of monstrous humanoids.
Yep.
Okay.
Talon yells, "Hey you! Hey!" And like looks over towards the guard.
But this is so. Before we do that, so you witnessed a crime. Some guards easily believed the real criminals over you who pinned this on you. You were taken down here, but where are we right now? What city are we in a city? Are we in a town? This is a pretty small prison cell. Is this like a private prison cell for some rich people, some faction, some guild?
Can we be in Slart?
Where?
Slart.
Slart?
Slart?
Yeah.
Come on, didn't
Where's
you
that?
read our entire excerpt?
Oh. No. Well, educate us all. This is how it works, man. You gotta spout.
The town of opulence and
You're in Spart, the town of opulence.
Slart.
Slart.
Yeah. SLART. It is
Town of
literally,
opulence.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Where is Slart? Is this like a coastal town? Is this like a city in the middle of a continent?
It's a great city. It's a fantastically wealthy city. where only the most opulent people live.
The most fantastic,
humans.
wealthiest, most humanist city.
King Jar Epiphius.
Can you
Yes.
type that into chat, please?
Yes, I
You should
Just call
not
his name
need to.
Jar.
You should not need to type it.
Well, surely, but us fools, us. Oh god, the multiple chats are happening. Okay,
Jarifius?
that's okay.
Jar 550s. It's a Roman numeral in the middle.
King
Jar
King Joff the Fifth.
Jar 550s.
King Joff Jar Fifth. I like the question mark that showed up. I didn't mean to put that.
Jar 5
Jar
Fifth.
Fifth. Okay. So, you're in Slart, the town of opulence. You witnessed a crime and were taken down to this prison cell. Where is this prison cell, though? Is this just one small sect of a much larger prison for the town guard, or is this more of like a private prisoner cell area?
This is the oubliette. This is the forget people because they've witnessed things they're not supposed to forget. It's just get rid of these people. They are they're gonna die, and they're gonna die really slow.
Okay. What? Okay,
But their version of dingy and dark and terrible is actually pretty nice.
Because it's the town of opulence.
It's like Eagleton.
So this is. I feel like there's a couple things we could do here in terms of like some of the game mechanics to generate the lore a bit more. If you guys want to look at Spout Lore or Discern Realities. Discern Realities is kind of closely studying a situation, and depending on how well you study the area, you can ask 1 to 3 questions, like what happened here recently, what's about to happen here, what should I be on the lookout for, etc. On the other hand, you can also spout lore, and here's where I would be required to tell you something interesting and useful about the subject relative to your situation. So I might ask you how you know this once that information's out there, in which you'd have to kind of retaliate and come back at me with like, some sort of thing.
I'm going to continue to spout lore.
Okay, so you didn't spout lore before. You did defy danger before, but you could spout lore now if you want.
My people had a 15-minute bathroom break, and I take it upon you not to look at me while I pee in the back of the room.
So, I mean, okay, we're kind of like on a frozen moment here. Like, you've already been clearance to go take your 15-minute break with your defy danger. Outside the jail.
I do not want this man to look at me while I pee, it is inappropriate.
He was so stunned by his ignorance that he wasn't even planning on escorting you out. Before you go out, which I assumed you were doing, I wanted to know more about how we got here and where you are. Right. So I want to know about this prison cell you're in.
We're definitely the underbelly of the city. Like, this is where people go to get forgotten about.
But it's still pretty nice.
But it's nice. Like, it's nicer than where we came from.
I mean,
okay.
Gartnash, which is now Gartnash, not Garth.
Oh, that's better, yeah.
Yeah, he has been into many a prison cell.
What about like Gornash? No,
yeah,
sorry.
Gornash. There you go.
Okay, I don't know.
No, Gore, because he's likes to gore things.
What if it's just like all one word? Like
Gornash.
Gornash.
Yeah, I like it.
Or like Gornash.
And there's like banana peels spread out everywhere. There's like some porridge on the bottom right. It's a nice bowl of porridge.
Sure, don't read into the image, please. But yeah, you can. You can though. You can.
I go over to that porridge and I take a scoop with my finger.
It's poop. It's poop.
All right. So
one of you can unlock my chains.
He already freed us.
He's unshackled you all. You are all free to go take your 15-minute break.
Yep.
Speaking of break, it's 2 a.m.
Yeah. I know.
We got out of the jail cell.
We did it.
I have to get up, man.
Yeah,
I have to get up.
All right.
I don't mean to party poop on you.
No, it's good. It's kind of more than I anticipated. You know, I just wanted to explore some ideas, get a feel for things.
Tell him beats into one of the barrels.
Go on, Klug.
I was just saying, just out of here, it seems like we're gonna need to, I don't know, maybe practice a little bit with finding how much of the surround, like the area and stuff that we're going to contribute. Because usually, like in Dungeons and Dragons, it's like the DM sets up like the world, right?
Yeah.
So when we say things like, you know, we look around, what do we see, or like what kind of place are we in? You would have all the answers, but you're actually kind of putting more of that on us.
Well, I'm feeling it out. I mean, I can definitely like, you know.
No.
throw
I'm
some
not saying
stuff
you
at
should. I'm not saying you should be putting all that detail. I actually kind of like the balance. So
yeah,
I think it might take us a little bit of practice to.
I think so too.
Where that line
that's why I wanted to get like, okay, so let's do this before we part ways. I wanted to get a feel for it, maybe make some characters that you can or cannot keep. It's up to you, you know, whatever. Come up with some like setting ideas, some story ideas. Before we play again, like we're gonna have to. I'm hoping like more people are here for the next one, and then we would kind of have like just a lightning character creation for everybody, right? Everyone would have a unique character class, and we would just hammer out and refine the idea of the bonds, why you're together, where you are, etc., and kind of just pick a setting or a story idea that we like. And I like the idea of like starting at a moment of action, right? Like, we've just escaped the prison in Slart or whatever, the fucking city of opulence. And
it's called Slart.
Slurm, and you know, something like that, or you know, like what would be a very interesting starting point that would sort of drop us right into the action a bit more. And this has all been like informative for that, I think, but like maybe by midweek we can kind of just in the chat room like throughout the week discuss like ideas, whatever we want to plus, whatever we want to float to the top a bit more. And I'm not going to plan like a concrete story around it, but it would at least let me sort of put a bunch of potential set pieces together, like maybe a couple different potential maps or different characters, different factions like the Crow people or whoever, you know, stuff like that. Just to give me some tools to have at our disposal for potential things.
Can I suggest like really super simplifying the classes? Like, I mean, so simplistic that it's almost like I'm a magic user. like
yeah,
to the point where we can jump in and get more to the mechanics. Like, because I don't understand the high danger and
yeah. Well, I mean,
all that.
What if we start like even more stripped down? Like, you know, you can be these classes with these things, but maybe we just start with like the basic moves that like, you know, are in the core game for everyone.
Well, actually, so like as far as like Defy Danger, every example I've seen so far has been like you just describe the things you want to do to the DM. The DM will say like, "Oh, it sounds like Defy Danger. You rolled this," and then but the whole time you just describe the actions you want to take.
Well, and that's and that's always what I want in like D&D too, right? Like I'm always trying to push you guys to use like, you know, verb-rich sentences just to telling us what you want to try, and I'll try to direct that towards a certain ability or a move.
In this particular case, I had no fucking idea what my stats were, and I was just like, I want to do this, and then you're like, okay, it sounds like this thing or this thing. I was like, all right, pick this one. Just because I didn't even know if it was better or worse. I was like, just do this one, and then it worked out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like that was actually pretty fun.
Well, yeah, and that's, I mean, like I was trying to glean from you, like, you know, are you using your training or your knowledge as a paladin and like your information about the law, because that immediately became a Defy Danger like intelligence thing.
Yeah.
Where you were trying to quickly outwit this stupid fucking guard with your bevy of knowledge about the laws of the land.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's all about
I honestly
where,
didn't know, and I was just like, all right, let's just take a gamble and let's see where it goes. And then it worked out.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, I can't encourage you enough to not look at your character sheet. Like, just, I mean, it will be good long term to know what, like, some of the mechanics of the game are, but, you know, this game, more than anything we've ever played, is just all about, you know, what's happening in the story. What's happening in the story. The mechanics are only there to serve and move that stuff forward and help us, like, figure out what the truth of it is. Like, if you had failed that role, we might have all discovered that while you have this sort of paladin background, you don't know fuck all about the laws of this particular land, and this guy just schooled your ass, you know, if you had rolled like a 5 or something.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, it's not my first day on the job, imbecile. Like, I know that you don't get a goddamn bathroom break. Piss and shit in the bucket in the corner. That's what it's there for. Like, that would have been another possible angle, depending on your roles. And the whole idea here is that, you know, your roles are what sort of define the story. Like, and that becomes a thing that happened going forth. Like, that becomes a truth. And that's sort of the main philosophy of the game, I think. But we'll figure it out. Yeah.
All right. Good.
Well, GG's. Good exploratory night. Tonight was not supposed to be more than anything than kind of a writer's room, as noted. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but now we have Talon the Owl.
You know, it was fun. Like, and I might do this more. Like, you know, because it's so loose. Like, I was able to, like, just fucking Google for, like, prison map and just pop it into the game pretty quickly. Like, I Googled, downloaded, and popped it in while we were just talking about the backstory here. So I
I'm chanting, like, let's do it. There might
be a lot more of that.
So yeah. I'm actually leaning toward, because Dungeon World lends itself to the whole theater of the mind thing.
Yeah.
You could use less maps than this.
Oh no, totally. Like, and like, yeah, I totally plan on only doing it like where it serves, where I think it'll be fun. Like, I mean, and I wanted to challenge myself with doing more of that, because I think it kind of digs deeper into the imagination and it forces us to ask more questions about, like, what's happening around you. But there are definitely,
like 5-foot step, or like, he's 10 feet away.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
That doesn't exist.
None of that exists, and it won't. The only time it might happen is, like, you know, it might be nice, like, if someone is, like, fighting, like say this guard is, like, fighting a bunch of you and, like, you're trying to surround him. It is helpful to be able to see, like, a representation on a map, like maybe what's happening in, like, a melee situation, to just keep track of all that stuff, especially if there's, like, tons of enemies or something. Sure. So I think it'll definitely be a mix of, like, just, you know, using our imagining. I hate theater of the mind as a term, but, you know, just,
really,
yeah.
It's so descriptive.
Everything that happens in role-playing games is in your mind, whether there's, like, visual cues there or not. It's just like whether or not there's maps or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. But, you know, I think going forward, a good mix of, like, sometimes there'll be maps, sometimes there might not be. Maybe there'll just be, like, a piece of concept art or something for an area, and we just move through and figure out where we are in there. But I liked, you know, like, how we were just moving through different parts earlier. No maps needed, really. But
that's fun.
Cool.
Awesome.
So, like, next time, maybe during the week we can just talk about, like, an idea for, like, a scenario that we'll jump into. I might come up with a few too that I'll throw out there, and then we'll pick it out before Friday, and then next Friday hopefully we can just fly through full final core character stuff, and even if we have to keep it stripped down just to get into it, we will, and then we'll start playing, like, you know, but people can at least have the idea of what class they want in the race and stuff like that.
Okay, I'll probably stick with mine. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll stick with mine too.
Cool.
We will see if I stick with mine.
I might actually talk when we come back, because playing a silent character is kind of dumb.
But I do like.
Well, I mean, like, if you don't talk, you could talk about what you're doing, like you're gesturing or you're drawing, or you're an immolator.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you like scorch symbols into things, or you have, like, this own little sort of, like, thieves' cant type language that your allies understand. You could go a lot of different ways with it, and still be participating in, like, the conversation happening over, like, you know, the microphones, the comms here.
Bye.
But describing. Yeah. Later.
Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
All right. GG.